person before I continue, and I say that person because I tried watching one of their videos and I didn't know what they identified as what's going on there. But Lily Orchard is the most commonly used name, and I guess I'll figure it all out in a documentary. And I believe this is good old June the King, I think? Not just a robot. Yeah, June the King, so we'll fully know what the hell is going on after this.
728,789. This is the number of words contained in the entire Stockholm series, a work that's contents are so severe, so indescribably concentrated in gratifying certain illegal activities, that its distribution alone can result in punishment if the perpetrator lives in Canada. And Canadian content creator Lillian Orchard, an attached author of this work, has been archived distributing it. Even this pales in comparison to the allegations that are now coming out against Lily. From her sister Courtney, that graphically details what she claims Lily did, to Patchwork detailing the extreme art that they made for Lily. There exists a seemingly endless stream of transgressions in the already highly contentious children's television reviewer space.
You recall she wrote a really, really bad list of writing rules that everyone's supposed to follow, and they were terrible. I've heard that they had Steven Universe opinions.
That Lily exists in. Even Lily has shown to greatly dislike herself.
Ugh, I'm so goddamn sick and tired of being me.
Adding to the confusion is the mystery of her alleged infamous alias, Tara Callie, her history as Ballspawn, and an obsession with the Pokemon Gardevoir. This, without exaggeration, only scratches the surface. Even with Lily constantly scrubbing her history, there exist enough in archives to capture this otherwise unbelievable story that will be assembled in this video. Quote, Ballspawn was born on May 30th, 1992. Having a rough childhood due to bullying and torment at school, he had a mental breakdown at the age of 14 and was sent to the Ray Allen Center on November 28, 2006 for a month. Unquote. There are several things of note from this quote. First this is one of the earliest standing archived entries involving Lily. Second is the name Ballspawn. This was her online moniker, likely derived from the race of Ball from Dungeons & Dragons, a race more so known for aligning with
Honto, I do that too. Please watch your mouth.
Evil. But this influence was more than likely through Baldur's Gate, which Lily has been known to play, as it also licenses the Dungeons & Dragons IP. Third this was Lily pre-transition, when her name was Jerry Pete, and as such going forward all quotes or references towards Lily will be read to reflect her currently. The fourth and final.
Okay, I thought it was a woman that transitioned into a man, so that's why I felt awful. Okay, it's Lily Orchard, she, got it.
Final point is the specificity of this fanfiction wiki. Despite Lily being relatively unknown at the time, this page goes into extreme detail, but it does so without any sources in the general biography section. Yet many of these assertions have been proven to be true. This means that this was either written by someone who knew Lily well, or this page was written by Lily herself. The page includes insight on Lily, who was 14 at this point, stating that she was sent to 2 different care centers because of severe depression and what comes with it. Things hardly improve from here. Quote, entering the ACT program, Ballspawn became known for her hit series Animal Magnetism. Publishing the first chapter on September 24, 2007, it became a hit due to its originality and questionable content.
Cool, I wrote fanfiction too. No one threw anybody a parade though, I'll say. Crazy. I guess I wasn't in the big leagues enough to get a Wikipedia fucking entry.
Using this story, Ballspawn coined the term, quote-unquote, Pokephilia, meaning a human who falls in love with a Pokemon, unquote. Animal Magnetism, an alleged 4-part series, centers around a particular love interest, a Gardevoir, a Pokemon with distinct humanistic traits.
So honestly, it was just the fact that it looks like a girl and she found porn of it.
That was Courtney Pete, Lily's sister in a stream, providing context to Lily's interest. In Courtney's now removed Tumblr,
Okay though, June the King, I would say. This shit.
Lily's sister in a stream providing characteristic traits.
So honestly, it was just of the fact that it looks like a girl and she found porn of it.
That was
Lucy Pyre be talking like this all the fucking time on her Twitch stream.
Courtney Pete, Lily's sister in a stream providing context to Lily's interest. In Courtney's now removed Tumblr, she shared a story of the time a 12-year-old Lily downloaded several illicit images of that Gardevoir from a library. Quote, she used to bring it home and hide it under the shed outside. I found it all at once. All of it was Gardevoir's spread eagle. I showed our parents because Lily had lied about why she was banned from the library. Unquote. This obsession with Gardevoir is very real. Never shaken, always present. What's more, Lily allegedly followed it up with a second series about a half Gardevoir, half human, then shifted her writing to a Family Guy fanfic known as Whispering Illusion, and then followed it up with Tale of the Valkyrie. The story has not been archived or is difficult to find, but there are reviews that break down key points of interest like this one that mention the possibly self-insert character Matthew Ryder, who falls in love and procreates with the character Meg Griffin. Their child, Jaina, then is described as entering into a relationship with Stewie Griffin, who is a family member. This type of relationship would often be found in Lily's writing.
Okay, I heard that Lily wrote a fucking incest porn. And I was like, man, weird things happen in the fanfic world. I don't know about that. But then, now that I've heard it's a fucking Family Guy one, that makes it worse somehow.
Additionally, the review makes the observation, quote, we believe that the author took this name from the Valkyr, a dark angel creature that appears in World of Warcraft. The fact that the story swaps between Valkyrie and Valkyr on an almost regular basis is further proof of this, unquote. The distinct Valkyr from World of Warcraft would also play a larger role in tying Lily to her lesser-known aliases. Lily continued to write fanfictions of her favorite media, being Pokemon, Warcraft, Family Guy, and Star Wars. But not all of Lily's interests in media were mainstream, as she was also a notable fan of The Escapist, a sort of web magazine that covered video game and hosted Zero Punctuation, a web series that was one of, if not the largest draw of the website. These videos had a recognizable yellow background with simplistic art and fast-paced narration that also delivered a string of quips that were tied to the equally fast-paced visual gags.
And I hate when I look back on my time with the Memorpagoo and realise that I've just flushed away months of my life that I could have spent writing a best-selling book or raising a child or pounding nails into my face.
Lily's looser ties from the website come from the banned Ballspawn account that at one point stated, quote, I have taken a life in self-defense, unquote. The stronger
So is Snoop Dogg, but they didn't make their MySpace profile look like this either.
ties are mentions of the website in understanding its coverage.
This morning I received an email from someone who had gotten into a bit of a video game debate with someone on The Escapist, which already doesn't sound like it's going into pleasant territory because someone had a debate on the internet about video games.
This video originated from the Ballspawn YouTube account created on May 5th, 2009. Though it originated from here, it can no longer be found on Lily's channel current day. But it can be found on Dailymotion that serves to archive some Lily's original videos as Ballspawn. There are 15 videos in this collection ranging widely in presentation, topic, and the possible date uploaded ranging from circa 2009 all the way to 2014. Even so, this collection, alongside Lily's favorite videos, provide much insight to Lily's choices of content and what possibly influenced it, like enjoying the nostalgia critic as seen in her favorite videos.
Hello, I'm the nostalgia critic. I remember it so you don't have to. Remember that crazy movie where they were sticking that brother's dick in that sister's mouth? You should write incest porn. How do we know? I'm pretty sure Lily Orchard isn't Snoop Dogg.
Or Josh Scorcher, also known as the Fiery Joker, who is often mentioned in her videos.
It's like the Fiery Joker episode.
The clearest influence is Zero Punctuation, as Lily has made videos blatantly in that style.
You should never trust rap stars, Catholics, men with a windowless van, women who shit on classic
Sorry, Tonto, you're out.
literature, and your own parents. I think as we grow up, we slowly learn that our parents have no idea what they're doing and that they're just winging it their whole lives. It's very humbling.
The majority of Lily's interests, as far as content creators go, are in creators that upload satirical critical pieces on media, whether it be movies or video games. Though Lily applies their presentation style, the topics she chooses to cover tend to be highly controversial. Like this video about gun control that includes footage recreated in Gary's mod of a certain school tragedy in the 90s that involved a very specific gun, and for that reason cannot be shown. There's also this video that someone denounces religion, deducing that differences in opinion lead to conflict. Videos like these, on serious subjects, even when not approached aggressively, will provoke viewers with largely varying opinions. It is safe to say that Lily was receiving a fair amount of comments disagreeing with her. Even with much softer subjects, such as a video on the platform Steam, was primed with deterrences for pushback that likely received the opposite effect.
Latch onto Valve as much as you want, but do not jump into the comment section to start barking your retorts about why I should use Steam, or all the positives, or whatever else you're going to say to make sure Valve never needs to.
You should use Steam, though. What the fuck? You gonna support Nintendo?
Pay for marketing, because I don't fucking care. Your comments will not be approved, and they will not even be read. You are wasting your time.
There are also the advice videos. None stand out more than this one.
And I have strong reason to believe this video will divide people, piss people off, and very well lose me more than a few fans. And for good reason. So, let's talk about incestuous relationship.
A catalyst for the
I see. I thought Lily Orchard was into movie reviewers, though. Has Lily Orchard not seen YourMovieSucks.com to see that just saying, we need to talk about zoophilia today? Nothing really happened and he never got canceled, so never mind.
This conversation, as Lily claims, came from a parent seeking advice.
Today we're focusing on one particular example, a father who came to me for help regarding his teenage son and daughter, so I will be speaking as if directly to him for the most part, much like my mailbag videos.
What Lily claims is that the father's kids in question are 14 and 15 or 1 year apart. Coincidentally, Lily and her lesser-known sister Courtney are also 1 year apart. As for the video, Lily disregards judging it based off morality because Lily disregards the general concept of morality.
There's no such thing as objective and absolute morality. Even murder, the one thing we all agree is a horrible thing, is considered to be alright to do in the most extreme of cases, so I've never bought the idea that anything can be morally right or wrong.
This goes on for an additional minute, where nothing is effectively added to the argument.
As for my help, you're obviously asking whether you should approve or disapprove. I hate to tell you this, sir, but it's not your place to do either. What you have to do is decide whether or not you could accept this about them.
As a whole, Lily's videos are angry, distracted, and uninsightful. But there is another element. This video in particular is being brought forward through the guise of a question proposed by an unidentified parent. The likelihood of a parent approaching a teenage YouTuber for advice for this very unique, highly sensitive problem is not very high. Lily has also
I think this video was made a year ago. I don't know. I wouldn't question it anymore.
written stories gratifying these sort of relationships, such as in Tale of the Valkyrie with Stu Griffin and his nephew. Whether this anonymous parent exists or not, Lily wants to talk about incest in some capacity. Another yet significantly more direct example of this is her video on mental illness.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Ballspawn, and welcome to RBI Live. This one on mental illnesses.
This is not so much a video about mental illness, or even just Lily's opinions on mental illness, as she stated in the video. It is more than that.
Let's start by saying that psychiatry is a field I have no respect for. I have no respect for the field of psychiatry. Psychology, yes. Psychiatry, no. There's a hospital. There's a mental health hospital near where I live. It's in Halifax. It's called the IWK Health Center. It's a children's hospital that also handles teenage cases. In January, I went into cardiac arrest after accidentally overdosing on risperidol, which is a medication I take for pervasive developmental disorder.
While Lily denounces psychiatry and tries to drive the video in a more general discussion about the effects of narrowing the treatment of a patient through the diagnosis to then directionless rambling, she goes back to talking about herself. And it becomes apparent that this is a video about her grievances.
I find it's funny how child psychologists can spend years in school learning how to deal with children, but they've never met a child in their life, probably. Probably. Except for when they were children, they've probably never talked to a child in their life. Child psychology is another field I have.
I'm telling you, Tonto, they got some bad ones up there. We already have enough problems down here. We don't need these fucking Canucks.
no respect for. And there's another problem with psychiatry and child psychology. It's all very children specific. And you can never paint two children with the same brush. No, they're like snowflakes. No two children are the same.
Lily, being diagnosed with autism, feels both misunderstood and neglected.
The biggest problem is that it's only for children. All these diagnoses and the symptoms go towards children. So if someone is born in a time where these diagnoses aren't common, if they weren't born in the last 5 or 6 years, they're lost because they're teenagers now and they have no help. That was the problem, is that when I was diagnosed with PDD when I was 16. And there was nothing for me because I was a teenager. Everything was for small children and early childhood development. And there was no help for teenagers with mild autism. When I was in the IWK, I had 5 psychiatrists handling my case. I never spoke to a single one of them. At all. Not a single.
Kinda strange all these trans identifying folk have autism.
One of them ever came to speak to me. And the whole time I was thinking, these people are the ones handling my case and they won't even come down and talk to me?
A motive for centering a video about a general topic to then be an explorative piece on her personal experiences could be to get public opinion on herself without explicitly tying it to herself. Typically, analysis of these motives would be unfounded, if not for Tara Callie, a person that has not been proven to exist, yet has eerily similar interests to Lily. As for Lily's ties to Tara, they can be seen at the intro and end credits of her videos. Tara is credited as the director. Other credits include Vomitron, the channel where the music is sourced from. Lily receives credits several different times, sometimes through alter egos. Similarly, the Psychosocialist receives credit through their YouTube handle as an actor and real name as the editor. So even though Tara is the alleged director of the projects, she is never shown. Another important bit about the intro is that it states it is presented by Valkyr Studios. A quick search shows that Lily was likely not using this name in an official capacity, but she did treat it as more than just a garnish. One of them is this blog that is still standing. The most recent post, dated December 25th, 2011, Lily both signs a post as Valkyr Studios and refers to it as a company with Lily as the sole employee. But that was in 2011. In 2013, much changed. On Derby Boru, a sort of image board dedicated to the increasingly popular series My Little Pony, which is a series Lily had become a fan of.
When the fall of man comes, I want y'all to recall 2011 the Brony community is when it began.
What appears to be happening in this discussion is someone posted an image of Lily's Tumblr. Within this image is Lily responding to the claim that feminists are largely not involved in the Brony community, Lily responding to the first comment asking if the creator is really a feminist. But then the third comment recognizes that this post originated from Lily and states derisively, quote, "Getting burned by Ballspawn is like losing a beauty contest to Steve Buscemi," unquote. This immediately sparked an argument where in the next page, Tara defends Lily, stating she prefers, quote, "rational and non-emotional thinking over everything else," unquote. But there is still disagreement as a forum member contends Lily's content is full of contradictory nonsense. It gets to the point where Lily as Ballspawn comes in and scolds both Tara and the person she was arguing with, stating, quote, "This is not the place to discuss moral philosophy," unquote. With the cat out of the bag, Lily
Get off the Brony site and you take that shit to KF where it belongs.
as Ballspawn goes
I don't think
on a
KF
comment
was
spree.
around then.
This goes on for several pages until an administrator of the website steps in, linking to 9 different commenters, 7 of which are anonymous posters. The other 2 are Ballspawn and Tara. And one additional anon was also linked as it was responsible for posting the initial image kicking off this thread. There are commonalities in all these accounts as pointed out by the administrator. Quote, Op, Tara Callie, Ballspawn, and the BP post supporting Ballspawn are all the same person. And they're getting a nice ban not for participating in one-man circle jerk, but for removing tags that a moderator instructed not to remove twice. Below is my reaction to the remarkable stupidity you've been displaying here," unquote. In an attempt to keep their charade going, one anonymous account states, quote, "There are 8 people in Valkyr Studios, and they all use a VPN for resource exchange, so of course they're going to show up as the same IP," unquote. After the administrator shames Ballspawn once more, they go on to say, quote, "Surprise, we don't just see IPs," unquote. implying that they can see all the posts also came from the same device type. This is yet another reason why Tara Callie is believed to not exist. Lily, in a future Tumblr post, stated in response to the accusations of inventing a person, quote, "Someone used my laptop to shitpost on the internet and I'd be getting blamed for it
Whatever. This is bullshit. I don't believe people just let other people use their fucking computers. Even back in I never would. The fucking cell phone's the computer. They've always been like personal diaries, and fucking losers need to go get their own.
ever since," unquote. As time progressed, Lily's excuses would become even less believable, and the project she worked on would become ever more disturbed. In 2012, Lily was not only writing a fanfiction, she was creating a game with the same name through RPG Maker, written and published chapter by chapter. It took the majority of 2012 for the written work to be complete. The story was not notably graphic or perturbing, but it did retain Lily's key influences as the story begins and is centered around the characters of My Little Pony, only to be crossed by a Valkyr. The gist of this is that this Valkyr is a destroyer of perceived dying worlds, even if it's done through genocide, and as such, it kills many ponies before
See, all Xander Hall has to do is take Ethan Klein out of the fucking thumbnail and put Lily Orchard in there. Lily Orchard factually does support genocide. Xander Hall, I'll get you out of this. Oh, not Xander Hall, fucking Noah Sampson. How could I get them mixed up?
Or being confronted by one to parley. The Valkyr's name is revealed to be Essentia, a tall female figure with distinct, quote, dark red hair, unquote. Essentia talking to the pony gives her hope, and as such, it reverses its destruction before then going back to its people. Many things happen. The Valkyr is reprimanded for not doing its job, and as such it sides with the ponies, and in the end is redeemed. The important bit, relevant to Lily Orchard, is a character guilty of genocide is redeemed, as will be pertinent in the future. There's also fan art of this work, created by Nintendo Gal 55. But Nintendo Gal 55 is not just a fan of Lily's work, she is a collaborator. The ties through her and Lily are quite direct. On Lily's Tumblr as Ballspawn, on the right-hand side, Nintendo Gal 55 is being undeniably promoted as, quote, part of the team, unquote, alongside Tara Callie. And the As Ballspawn Tumblr is also certainly Lily's, as the Tumblr is promoted in archives of Lily's channel, alongside 2 wikis, a DeviantArt, Lily's blog, a TV Tropes page, a merch page, and a Facebook account. In other archives of Lily's channel, Nintendo Gal 55 is again being promoted by Lily. Here, Lily is also promoting 2 of her own additional channels. One that is dedicated to ponies, and the other that is dedicated to gaming. While their catalog of uploads have been wiped, the gaming channel has a singular playlist with a single video of Nintendo Gal 55 playing Doomsday Ascending. She likely got this either directly from Lily or downloaded the demo Lily posted.
Wow, this game has a warning against not safe for work content. That means it's good! At least in the minds of children, anyway.
The game itself, being a demo, is mostly true to Lily's Doomsday Ascending story. It is also confusing to navigate to the point that Nintendo Gal 55, a vocal supporter of Lily, takes issue with it.
Okay, I have to admit, this took me over
Hey, Lily Orchard's got more going on in their RPG Maker game than mine, though, I will say.
an hour to get right. I had so many complications it wasn't even funny. So this is now my, I think my 4th time playing it today. That's right, 4th time. Took me over an hour to do, but, completely worth it.
Reviewers not so attached to Lily were not as generous with their criticisms of the game. On EquestriaGaming.net, there exists a review calling the game uninspired and dull, full of inaccessible buildings with open doors, unclear quests, human clothes in pony shops, etc. Quote, "This game was bad enough already, but adding pony porn was the last straw." Unquote. For these reasons, the game got a hound grade of 2 out of 10 as seen at the bottom of the review. The reviewer does not speak in exaggeration about the pony porn. This is very much part of the game.
And okay, for this, I decided to see what would happen when I break her. And, I had to cut it because I wanted this to be as safe for work as possible.
It is important to note that Lily, at this point in time, was at least 20 years old, and all current and future works were written through the mind of an adult. As for Doomsday Ascending, if select ponies are approached, the player is given the option to embody or break a pony's spirit. The break option can lead to the death of the NPC, but will also guarantee an option to view a not safe for work image of the pony. While not available in Nintendo Gal's 55's playthrough of Doomsday Ascending, she did upload a separate video that includes all the graphic imagery completely uncensored and therefore cannot be shown in this video. 2 of the images are exceptionally grievous as they contain a smaller, likely younger pony being preyed upon by a larger and potentially older pony. One scene is of ponies in the shower, and the other one is clearly a sexual act that won't be further described. The most unspeakable commonality between these 2 images is that they are exactly what happens in the fanfiction A Mother's Love, A Daughter's Passion. A piece so offensive, the work aside from select quotes will have to be censored. This is again a story written in the universe of My Little Pony, with character Twilight Sparkle, who is also the main focus of Doomsday Ascending, playing the mother of the filly, Nyx. A filly is a young female horse, and Nyx is a fan creation by fan writer Penstroke, who has explicitly requested to not use her character in a sexual setting. In a story, A Mother's Love, A Daughter's Passion, this request is ignored and is written to gratify crimes of a sexual nature relating to differences in age and the offenders being a family. In the story, a character is described thinking, quote, "It was wrong, it was also sweet," unquote. As gruesome as this work is, how does it relate to Lily beyond involving her key interests? These ties are not as direct. The author for this work goes by the alias Alcordiv. This still does not tie it to Lily, but it does tie it to Terra. Recalling how Lily linked her team on her Tumblr being Nintendo Gal 55 and Terra Cali, we can also use this to verify Terra Cali's Tumblr. There is only one issue. When going to the Terra Cali Tumblr URL,
Hey Mike, yeah, Mike, we're totally doing RPG Maker content right now through the lens of Lily Orchard's RPG pony game. Yes, she's winning your heart.
The account seemingly no longer exists, and the Terra Cali Tumblr is not archived except for a single screenshot on Archive Today. Though the archive page itself is largely useless, it is the top of the Archive Today website that is of utmost importance. It shows that the screenshot was from someone trying to archive the Terra Cali Tumblr. But Tumblr itself, when this page was archived in 2015, redirected it to the renamed page which now sits in its current state as Valorous Vixen. What this all means is that Lily promoted the Terra Cali account on her Tumblr as a team member. This is a direct link, but around 2014, Terra changed her Tumblr name to Valorous Vixen. Both old comments and old redirects prove that these are the same accounts, and why this is important is because Terra took credit for the work. This happened because someone riffed on the story, and the Terra Cali Tumblr account linked the riff and stated, quote, "Putting aside the gratitude of finally having someone point out all the spelling and grammar mistakes I made, this is just hysterical," unquote. This admittance means that Terra Cali is also the user Alcordiv, the alias used to post the original work. Terra's Tumblr reveals much more than just this connection. It also directly links the Terra Derpy Borio account. In a separate post, she admits to using Lily's computer, yet in all these posts, there is not a single image of her. At most, she describes herself as having, quote, "deep red," unquote, as a natural hair color. And though at this point in around 2013, where Lily has known Terra for about 5 years, no one else has seen her except for Lily. This is all while she claims to have had sexual relations with Lily, all while Lily lived at her parents' trailer. Surely Lily's parents must have seen her if she's interacted with Lily for that long. But she has an excuse for that too. Quote, "I spoke to her brother on Facebook, but I kept away from her parents. I honestly did not want to meet them. They're not nice people," unquote. Even Lily's father, according to Terra, doesn't believe she exists. Quote, "I even heard Lily's own father accuse me of not being real," unquote. This was not very convincing. Considering that Terra is credited as the director of Lily's old videos, she should have been present within Lily's household. But then Terra states she has been screen present, so surely Lily must have an archive of her being on camera in old videos, yet not a single frame of her has been found. What's more, while Terra claims she is the director of these works, she describes the job of an editor. Quote, "So yeah, I'm behind the scenes, I'm the director. I make sure everything is good to go before it's published," unquote. It is safe to say the majority of Terra's posts are about Lily, often complimenting Lily by saying things like, quote, "You're the best person to do it. You're actually..."
Man, at least So I'm pretty sure Creepshow Art and Illuminati, while they were going out and making alt accounts to attack collaborators because they're nice in the real world on their stream, but outside on the Reddit streets, they're vicious. I don't think I've ever seen someone make an account to glaze themselves, probably because it'd be very embarrassing if you were caught. An alt account.
Intelligent and know how to argue someone's points and not turn it into a mudslinging match. This would be the best thing for everyone. Unquote. Tara also makes the connection, quote, am I like a female Lily, or is Lily like a androgynous me? Unquote.
And I wouldn't be making these accusations of this egregious nature if I wasn't for sure.
You see, if there's one thing that anyone who has followed Jerry knows the most about him throughout his entire internet career, it is that he has a deep-seated desire for control.
She does not see people as people. She sees them as things for her to use.
Britt was a viewer turned friend of Lily's.
I met her in 2010. I ended up subscribing to her, watched her for a little bit, ended up...
Which one of you is going to be the first one to be in a June the King documentary talking shit on me? Which one is it? Who is my Judas?
Up sending her a message on YouTube's old personal message system. We started talking back and forth, and eventually moved to Skype, and that's pretty much how we became friends and started talking regularly.
The significance of this is that Britt has screenshotted and later uploaded many of these chats, and not exactly just with Lily.
Lily had referenced Tara Callie in a lot of her videos, like she was credited as being a director. Lily had talked about her before. Tara was allegedly a friend of hers that lived in her neighborhood. And yeah, one day Tara Callie popped up on Facebook.
I guess it wouldn't be bad to have an alt account that early in your life, because when you do post some crazy shit on your social media, you can say, oh, you know, that friend of mine, Sarah, totally did it. And it's like, oh, they do hang out together a lot.
And started messaging me.
Britt also uploaded some of the conversations with Tara, amounting to 132 screenshots with Tara alone. All in all, these are of a sexual nature, either referencing Tara's experience with Lily or flirting with Britt. The ones of a sexual nature not related to the former category are extremely grotesque and as such cannot be described in detail. These two screenshots are of Tara admitting to doing things with a dog. This one is Tara admitting to being into Volcon or the interest in young ponies, which also makes it all the more likely that she did write A Mother's Love, A Daughter's Passion. There are also a fair amount of screenshots where Tara is trying to convince Britt to get sexual with Lily. This was a problem for a litany of issues.
Yeah, when me and Lily knew each other, she was fully identifying as a cisgender man, and I'm a lesbian.
Lily was quite aware of this.
Yeah, that was like the main point of contention between us, is she kept trying to use any means possible to try and convince me to be sexual with her, despite the fact that I'm gay.
Tara at the time was bisexual and shared her experiences with Lily, but then admitted those were lies. Regardless, Tara identifying as a woman was more forward in her approach to Britt than Lily was. She even sent her pictures, but these pictures were not of Tara, and were traced back to a model. It is also important to mention that apparently this was Tara Callie's profile picture, but that was soon likely changed as the image was also traced back to an easily found image on Google. The facts are that no one beyond Lily has seen Tara. Tara is a liar, a predator, a criminal, and her story gets ever more unbelievable, especially the one of her origin.
Yeah, the story was she ran away from California because she got kicked out of her parents' home because her parents caught her essentially her younger 15-year-old sister. And at some point, the 15-year-old sister also tried to run away from California to Canada and froze to death.
Even though
Courtney's the sister and she's not dead.
Tara is an unfathomably disturbed individual. She somehow secured a job working for the government. On her Tumblr, she describes this job as just printing out papers and being a lackey pertaining to securing passports. She also told Britt that she makes $130,000 a year from this job. Everything about Tara made Britt suspicious.
Like, I kept trying to get any sort of concrete evidence that Tara was a real person, but she would refuse to send voice notes, she'd refuse to get on voice calls, she'd refuse to get on cam, and it was always, oh, my vocal cords are damaged. Oh, I'm afraid that creepy people will record me. Oh, I'm afraid that if I get on camera, I'm gonna get sexually harassed. It was always some kind of excuse, or just a flat out no.
The ruse was up. Virtually anyone who interacted with Tara did not believe they were a real person. And so, in late 2014, Tara was pronounced dead because she got into a car accident. But not really, because she came back to state, quote, "Idiot doctor pronounced me dead at the scene and started..."
Oh my god. Shut up, Kickbot. I'm too busy laughing at the idea of someone faking their death on Tumblr, fucking posted that the idiot doctor pronounced them and then using it with a Darth Vader fucking meme going no. Fucking ridiculous.
Sending out notifications to my emergency contacts, unquote. Naturally, Lily was her emergency contact. What then happened is that Tara got arrested. And not just that, Lily confirms that Tara does have red hair, but is also a 6'3" woman. This is a very distinct height that makes her taller than more than 99% of American women. And this was after CP was allegedly found on her computer. Additionally, the police contacted Lily because she was an emergency contact on Tara's phone, and as such, they asked Lily for a key to Tara's apartment. So instead of enlisting a locksmith, they would have a possible accomplice access the location first. Perhaps now Tara can be contacted and visited, something that in this screenshot Britt wanted to do, only for Lily to fire back and state that Tara has a strict contact list, implying that she likely cannot be found. Lily also states here that she cut all ties with her. And during a trip to the police department to visit Tara, Lily states, quote, "There was one pretty funny moment. I was sitting there in the police department and one little girl, around 8 or 9, came out and sat down next to me. She'd just been questioned about Tara. She asked me, 'Do you know that mean lady in jail?' I said, 'I dated the mean lady.' She laid a hand on my shoulder and said, 'You poor thing, it was like something out of a sitcom,'" unquote. Lily also states that Tara wanted Lily to visit her in prison, where Lily claims she did, and, quote, "proceeded to beat the ever-loving shit out of her. She spat out blood, and that's all I care about at that point," unquote. Lily later states that the guards allowed this to happen to quell Britt's suspicions. Lily also claims that in the past, Tara beat her up with a studded belt. She also tells Britt that Tara sent her compromising images of Britt a few days before she got arrested for some reason. It also appears that Valkyr Studios had lost its director. In the 2015 updated and archived FanWikia page, there is still more about Valkyr Studios. Quote, "Ball owns a small media company she created under her own name called Valkyr Studios," unquote.
No, that was a full-blown lie. I can tell you exactly what Valkyrie Studios actually was and where it started.
What is it gonna be? I'm actually curious as fuck. Oh no, Mike, this is a creature from the new Gameaverse show that I really like a lot. It's cool.
I was the first quote-unquote member. There was me, her sock puppet Tara Callie, Blake Diamond, and then later Nintendo Gal, but we didn't really do anything together. Like, we were just a group of people that she would talk to and keep separate from each other, and she called us a studio.
Even on the Daily Motion archive, Blake Diamond is seen on a livestream with Lily, even presenting the livestream as the Valkyr Studio livestream.
I need to ask you to stop doing the implying sentence structure. That comes from 4chan. We do not discuss 4chan in the Valkyr Studios livestream.
As it so happens, Blake also interacted with Tara Callie, And when Blake decided to stand up to Tara and Lily, they berated Blake, calling him a butt monkey or the butt of the joke. Lily on her own Tumblr states both that Blake is easy to manipulate and verifies that she is a manipulative person. Quote, because Blake looks for yes men, and I am most assuredly not it, if you're the kind of person who is easily manipulated, easily driven to hysterics, and embodies the very worst of this website and is complacent in your failings, I am the worst person to befriend, and Blake is very much that. Unquote. Blake's wife responded to Lily's attacks by stating, quote, perhaps Blake doesn't like you because you're a manipulative egomaniac and most people don't like manipulative egomaniacs. Unquote. Lily discredits Blake by stating Blake declares feminists to be terrorists, something Blake's wife also responded to by disagreeing with Lily. And this was not the last post that Blake's wife responded to. At this point, Lily, towards Blake's wife, states this, quote, that's the kind of conversation where if we'd had been standing in the same room, I would have belted her.
You guys, can we appreciate that one of the kick bots that just followed is called Organic Engagement?
Unquote. At the start of 2014, Lily's inner circle through her faux studio included Britt, Nintendo Gal 55, Blake Diamond, and Tara Callie. The latter two are no longer within this circle. While Britt continued her friendship with Lily, Nintendo Gal 55 in a similar position was also a business partner of sorts, one that would co-author Lily's most infamous work, a series that's combined word count is 728,789. That means, from start to finish, if listening to the words at 150 words per minute, it would take 80 hours and 55 minutes just to get through. Considering its contents, this is one of the least shocking facts. This is none other than the Stockholm series. As of right now, there are 9 archived works. There are also several works that Lily abandoned, meaning that there were more than this. As for
the fucking, they go through a lot of stuff in that art CC community, but Stockholm is one that is talked about between many. But it's like, you know, some people have like the one incident people find on the internet and try to cancel them with. Lily Orchard just happens to have like 80 weird things on different sites and different places, fan fictions, RPG makers and shit, like... Ugh.
The 9 recovered, the longest entry is 239,000 words. The shortest is just shy of 8,000, and appears to be an incomplete rewrite of an entry of the same name. Other works in the series are largely tagged as incomplete, cancelled, or on hiatus. As for the stories themselves, they are undoubtedly set in the My Little Pony universe. And like Lily's previous stories, her own characters, such as Essentia, make a return, again being described as having red hair and being so tall it scares people. This is the exact same description of the Essentia character written in Doomsday Ascending. These very distinct descriptions are also the only way Tara Callie has ever been described.
Essentia was one of her self-inserts. Yeah, like, she'll deny that, but based on how she's used Essentia over the years, how she talks about her, the fact that she was actually her main World of Warcraft character for a while, the fact that if you were to take how she compares Tara Callie and Essentia side by side, they're basically the same person.
Side note, Lily also uploaded her save game of Skyrim to Nexus Mods, where she played through the entire game as Essentia. These screenshots of her character are again fitting her canon description, but not all of Lily's characters are derived entirely from fiction. In the first entry of Stockholm, named Stockholm, there is a character named Firebrand. This character, while inherently fictional, is a creation and representation of Josh Scorcher, a creator that Lily looked up to at this point. As for Stockholm, the first entry of the series revolves around the character Rainbow Dash, modified to fit Lily's perversions. The character, though canonically female, now has a penis, is described as intersex, and has an uncontrollable lust for minors. In the story, she approaches Dr. Firebrand about her fantasies. Firebrand then makes the connection that her pedophilia is because she is intersex. The doctor also states, quote, I would recommend that you relax and enjoy your fantasies, Firebrand said with a smile. You'll find that once you do,
not even a good fanfic, and it's what are we being, ableist, transphobic? What are we being today with this one? What? You're a pedo because you're a hermaphrodite, which is what intersex means. I don't understand the hatred in this community.
You'll be feeling less guilty about yourself, and less likely to think you'll do something you'll regret. Think about how you'd feel if one of those girls were over and were making you excited, but you had the security of knowing you can go upstairs and take care of yourself once they've left. You'll feel more relaxed, wouldn't you? Unquote. It is important to note that this scene happens after Rainbow Dash stole the panties of one of her victims, who is a minor, and then proceeded to pleasure herself to them. Though these characters are taken from the My Little Pony universe, they are described as human. On top of this, there are endless, highly descriptive sex scenes written to gratify these things. Things like pedophilia and incest. This is not just in Stockholm Actual, it affects every following piece of the Stockholm series. The incest is typically between sisters or a daughter and a mother. There is also an obsession with the age of 14 and 15. Many characters are described as that age or have important events that took place in their life when they were that age. This, like many other themes in Stockholm, is not a coincidence.
Lily has a fixation on the age of 14. Because you got the whole Rainbow Dash and Scootaloo situation in Stockholm, where Scootaloo was 14. You have the Mod Pie and Pinkie Pie stuff.
Like, it's crazy to me, though, because I have been in some shady servers where fucking people are into weird shit, looking for things, not fucking like F-list. Servers on fucking F-list, like straight up, I want to fuck you as a Pokemon, and stuff like that. Not until we got real creepy on the internet have I been hearing fucking ages of this stuff and people being like really, really into that. Gross.
There was...
I can't imagine being so fucking porn addicted, I'm sorry. Yeah, fucking
Rarity
bronies
and
indeed.
Sweetie Belle in Stockholm.
Virtually all characters within every entry are deeply disturbed individuals. Even the minors are having these thoughts. One of them in the Dash family entry states, quote, "When she's changing or taking a shower or trying to be alone, even when I started crushing on you, I was still spying on my sister. And sometimes I steal her underwear." Unquote. The minor that is saying this had her panties stolen by Rainbow Dash in the first entry of Stockholm, but was allowed to see her while she was institutionalized. In this entry, there's also a different pony YouTuber that Lily looks up to, being Dr. Wolf, who prescribes Rainbow Dash specifically.
Now let's not forget Dr. Wolf. Of course he can get a shout out here. He said Toon Critic Y2K, who's been caught several times being a pedo, we need to give him Christian forgiveness.
Risperidone, which is an antipsychotic, something Lily likely became familiar with when she was institutionalized as a teen. Also in this story, Rainbow Dash imagines a younger form of herself who she initially named Pervy, but then later renamed CL. Initially an imaginary fetish piece, CL manages to slowly and inexplicably turn corporeal. The issue with her turning into a real person is that she will be taken away from Rainbow Dash. Quote, okay, as much as I want to be real, I certainly don't want to be thrown out and kept away from Dash, but still, unquote. This is what Stockholm is. Bizarre, grotesque, and a crime in Canada. First and foremost, a child in this connotation is described as anyone under the age of 18, and as Lily clearly defines them with humanistic traits, they are, quote, visual works of the imagination, unquote. And even imaginary, this kind of
Visual works of the imagination, but like once you give it visual form, you're kind of endorsing its existence.
writing is not exactly illegal. It becomes illegal when distributed, and by her own words, through her distributing it, it contains, quote, scenes of violence, sexual content, depictions of domestic abuse, depictions of mental illness, depictions of ephebophilia, mentions of redacted, an incorrect depiction of an intersex person, negative depictions of the field of psychiatry, depictions of toxic relationships, and other such objectionable content.
Can you really be trans and be anti-psychiatry? Just asking.
Unquote. Here, Lily is again admitting to writing the work, apologizing for how she framed intersex individuals. But as her work was discovered and criticized, she sought to distance herself from it.
Her narrative for that has changed quite a bit. Like, she went from Like, at first, she was proud she wrote it. She would post about it on her Tumblr. She would talk to me about it in DMs. She set up a whole separate Tumblr specifically for it. And then she went from, oh, I did write it, but other people edited in the graphic scenes involving underage characters, and the blame for that would shift from, oh, it was 4chan, oh, it was Josh Scorcher, oh, it was Bronies being mad at me, oh, it was Nintendo Gal. It was like, it was.
Okay, Josh Scorcher, that's the one that's hosting the Toon Critic call that we heard when we were last bringing up Bronies.
Like, she didn't write it, she didn't write the sex scenes, other people did, and whoever did would change based on whoever she was trying to throw under the bus at the time.
Though Lily did write Stockholm, it is also true that she wasn't its only author. Nintendo Gal 55 co-wrote the works. The Stockholm series seems to have ranged from 2014 to 2015. Throughout this time period, Nintendo Gal 55 was quite expressive in how the writing was affecting her. In just late 2013, she, responding to a question asking if she liked Fulcon, stated, quote, "That's a personal no-no for me. If other people like it, that's fine. It's not exactly illegal as redacted, but it's not for me. That's all it is." Unquote. But in the coming months, she had a change of heart because she took part in writing Stockholm. As revealed, it was through the convincement of Lily. Quote, "You're talking to the gal who managed to convince her that writing Twilight as a redacted and Rainbow Dash as a redacted would have been a good idea. I think I can manage this." Unquote. Nintendo Gal 55 in a different post expresses the turmoil of writing the story. Quote, "It involves the CMC, and it was so awful. I would read all of my original fanfics from 10 years ago than ever write or read that again. I didn't just hate how the scene became, I felt physically uncomfortable reading it and writing it. It wasn't just uncomfortable, it was painful. All throughout Stockholm, the worst I ever felt was sad. Now sad, I can handle that perfectly fine. Even the descriptions of the domestic abuse, while unnerving, weren't graphically written and didn't affect me that badly. Yes, Essentia terrified me in the story, but I can also handle fear. But physical discomfort from writing/reading something so terribly uncomfortable and painful? No way. I was honestly on the verge of tears. Thankfully, Ballspawn understood and offered that we make it less like that. It turned out so much better after that. I am forever thankful for her compassion and letting us redo that scene. Heart." Unquote. Nintendo Gal 55 can now hardly be found, and that appears to be intentional.
I tried to reach out to her once, and I don't think she wants anything to do with any of this anymore. Like,
well, yeah, some people grow the fuck up. Like I said, I almost think, like, if people have weird things going on, like weird cyber RP logs that are found and they were underage, like, you know, fucked up things happen in the brain while going through puberty, but where everyone here's a fucking adult. Lily's been an adult for a minute. Like, what is wrong with people?
I know she was incredibly uncomfortable to the point of having emotional breakdowns when she was dealing with Lily's shit. Like, Lily manipulated and coerced her into helping her with it.
Still, in 2015, Lily would stop writing Stockholm entries due to the immense amount of criticism she was getting. Quote, "No, the fun of this whole series is gone. This isn't one person. I've had to deal with these paranoid, delusional little liars for almost 2 years, and despite my best efforts to purge them from my view, it still gets through." Unquote. She was also, as per this ask, accused of being a pedo. Not for Stockholm, though that was likely happening, but because of Fire Rose. Shipping is essentially creating the portmanteau of a desired couple's name, and as such, the unwilling participants are encouraged to be in a relationship as done by the action. And so, in this case, a 23-year-old Josh Scorcher, represented through his character Firebrand, was being shipped with a 17-year-old content creator Ink Rose, hence Fire Rose. In her post, Lily was making the argument that Ink Rose was over the age of consent in 3/4 of America, and allegedly they did go on a date.
I think Josh and Ink ended up, like, going out to get food or something one time, and immediately realized how weird it was and never did it again.
A reason Lily was shipping these two was because they were both politically right-leaning. and at some point she began editing videos for Josh Scorcher, someone who she's been watching for several years now, and someone who she had a crush on. As per Britt's correspondence with Lily, quote,
I don't think people should hire video editors that had a crush on them. I think that's not great in the YouTube workplace.
Britt, because of your raging crush on Anakin and your possible little crush on Josh, unquote. Lily responds, quote, in the case of Anakin, that was just me fanboying. In the case of Josh, yeah, you're right, unquote. As established, Lily was quite promiscuous. But how severe was it?
Based on the TV Tropes character page she made of my character that she would insert into her rather vocalized Delusion comics back in the day, she was fully aware of it.
Quote, belligerent sexual tension. One-sided in Ball's case, unquote.
But then suddenly she was friends with two lesbians who she wanted to get with.
Wait, who's the second lesbian?
Nintendo Gal.
Lily was also pursuing Nintendo Gal 55, even though she's lesbian.
Also, I say, watch out for those polycule fucking cults online. People are out there collecting rebounds.
And Lily was still publicly identifying as a cis-straight male. Even Blake was getting this treatment. This is his testimony found on 8chan, also in 2015. Quote, be me, young and stupid RVI fan eager to be noticed, chatting with quote-unquote Tara one night. Quote-unquote, she convinces me through repeated refusal to drop the subject that I have a crush on Lily. Never mind the fact that back then I was gay for any male that wasn't explicitly hetero. Except for Paris Hilton, because that redacted can burn in hell.
How fucking dare you? She fights for women's rights against AI. She's a Synanon survivor. I hate to snap into my vintage self, but no one ever talk shit on Paris's name.
To keep me up with unwanted roleplay of fucking Lily. Cut to October 2013. Be me just answered a confession on the RVI fan blog. Lily bitches and moans about money troubles. I suggest cam whoring to her fans. She asked if I want to be a test for that. I awkwardly try to dodge, saying yes or no. She pursues and eventually breaks me down. I awkwardly wait for her to take her shirt off or whatever. Get saved by Ethan and his family. 1 week later, be me, just got home from work. Watch the rest of Lily and Ethan's Q&A stream. Get into video call with Lily to talk about said Q&A. Somehow she gets it in her head that I want her to strip. She proceeds to take her shirt off and refuses to let me turn on my camera to show my disgust. Sit in awkward confusion before she attempts to take her pants off too. Gets saved by mom coming in. Thank the Emperor. Call ends. Proceed to cry myself to sleep with an awkward boner. Unquote. This was posted on 8chan just a day after Lily announced she was discontinuing Stockholm and that she was getting flack from shipping Fire Rose. And though 8chan posts tend to not be the most reliable, Blake would later give his testimony in video form. Lily at this point was either sexually pursuing, sexually interested in, or right out online dating virtually everyone she was in contact with. From the manipulation through Tara Callie, the shipping of Fire Rose, and her unwelcome promiscuity, the internet was turning on Lily like never before.
No, Mike, I am a Paris fan because I was the first in high school when she was coming out and it was such, she's so dumb, she's so stupid, I'm hot, everybody, this dumb person, I should have known people are dumb, and I'm out here like, guys, she's playing a character, she could just, like, take her parents' money and be rich, but she's making her own career, just making you people mad, it's kind of good, and then, like I said, she does a lot of work and shit now.
4. As such, paranoia made its way in, and she began a pattern of removing and re-adding her friends, likely as an attempt to test their loyalty.
She'd delete me on everything, and then she'd add me back, and then she'd delete me and she'd add me back. And that happened a few times, and I couldn't figure out what was going on with her. I started getting really tired of it because I felt like she was treating me like I was disposable, pretty much.
During this time, Lily was talking about getting rid of 8 bags of garbage, allegedly influenced by a nervous breakdown. But Britt had grown tired of it all. They would often fight on Skype until Britt pulled the plug. On top of this, Lily was starting to publicly transition into Lily, which brought on even more turmoil. The silver lining is that most of the conflict was kept private, or at least not so public, like the Skype messages with Brittany. The 8chan post with Blake, even Stockholm wasn't well known, and neither was Tara Cali or what she represented. But that was 2015. In 2016, save for the Skype and Facebook messages with Britney, this silver lining was stripped and Lily had come apart at the seams, reformed now into Patch after
She hasn't even hit her peak yet, y'all. Her peak is gonna be Steven Universe.
conflicted Patch, some disregarding her as a hate monger, others cloaked in her anger and vitriol, convinced in her passion alone. This was brought on by her falling out with Josh Scorcher. It is difficult to state how much Josh really meant to Lily. He is a content creator that she admired so much that not only did she write him into Stockholm as the counselor that encouraged vile acts, she also admitted to having a crush on him. Lily was dedicated so much to him that she wormed her way into becoming an editor of his. This came to a head on June 4, 2016, when Josh Scorcher on his Tumblr stated, quote, "That feeling when you finally realize you're in an emotionally abusive relationship. That feeling when you realize you can't break it off."
Just normal things for those, straight Chad men that they write on fucking Tumblr. There are no fucking straight men there.
Because of business reasons, and you just have to suck it up. Unquote. In a second post responding to the worry of his audience, Josh Scorcher stated, quote, "It's nothing life-threateningly serious. Sorry if I scared you. Just realized a friend hasn't really treated me like a friend should." Unquote. On a third post, Josh clarifies that he cut ties with this person and they are not going to be affecting future projects. And in a fourth and final post, still on the same day, Josh clarifies that he won't be revealing who this person was, likely to avoid conflict. That's when Lily replies to this.
And then the next day, critic Y2K was removed from the internet.
Quote, "It was me. I have been increasingly passive-aggressive towards Josh, dismissing his opinions and being increasingly short-tempered with him as time has gone on, treating discussions with him that have any degree of seriousness with the same disregard and callousness as I would a random YouTube comment. And Josh was far more patient with me than I had ever been with him. I have been a very poor friend to Josh over the last few years, and Josh deserved far better than this. I am truly sorry." Unquote. This is a well-mannered response where Lily admits to her wrongdoings and apologizes without any direct pressure applied. But even the good nature of it could not fix her friendship with Josh. And to this, not only did she begin hating Josh, she also began to despise his identity. While Lily always had a disdain for the political right, it was mostly aimed at Donald Trump, as it was an election year. But then after her falling out with Josh Scorcher and after the Orlando shooting in June 2016, Lily made innumerable posts mostly supporting gun control, but also some targeted towards Christians. It is no secret that Josh Scorcher is also a right-leaning Christian. Lily knew how excessive her postings had become and stated, quote, "I'm probably going to be raging about the delusional twats of the Republican Party for a while."
See, this was a good time on the left because people were just more mask off with, "I'm pissed I need a data bitch about Republicans." That's the era I grew up in.
So if you find that exhausting, add the tag, quote, "fuck conservatives," unquote, to the blacklist of whatever extension you're using. I will do my best to make sure each post is tagged, unquote. Lily then responded to the claims of her being part of the radical left as, quote, "Those claims come from people who are planning to vote Republican, so if they think I'm..."
Wow, you stand up for yourself, Lily. I can't believe those Republicans fucking would ever accuse you of such a thing.
"Radical? Good. Fuck those deplorable assholes," unquote. Finally, on June 19th, Lily tied this back to Josh Scorcher when asked, quote, "Josh just put up a post saying why the US doesn't need gun control. What an absolute tool," unquote. Lily responded, quote, "You think that if you can so easily..."
Yeah, come on, Lily, because you are the Denims. You are the Denims to Josh Scorcher here.
Easily predict how people are going to react to the bullshit that comes out of your mouth, that might cause you to step back and re-examine your outlook on the world. But stroking a massive persecution complex works great too, I guess. I had Josh on my Skype contacts for 2 years. This doesn't surprise me as much as you might think it does. Unquote. Lily then amended the question by stating that Josh Scorcher never said the US doesn't need gun control.
About it. Like, she will rage about it for days on end. If it's a specific person, she will rage about them for years on end. So I think her sudden raging hatred for Republicans and Josh in general was way more personal because she had a crush
I don't know too many people, though, I'll say, that hate on that's hatred of Republicans is helped by the fact that she couldn't hook up with her husbando, who might be Republican.
Crush on him. And he fired her.
Quote, if you aren't wealthy, white, straight, and a man, and you must be all four of those, then the Republicans are trying to kill you. Kill them first. Unquote. This was a section of Lily responding to why she suddenly loathes the right so much. She claims it was the Orlando shooting, but Lily was also equally...
God, see, we've always been stupid, because what the fuck? Those things are just crazy people. Yeah, they have their politics and ideals, but if it wasn't for that in their head, it would have been something the fuck else.
Ranting about Josh Scorcher with a passion, even framing her firing by Josh Scorcher as her decision to leave. Quote, Josh wanted to say something in a video that was widely racist, and I wouldn't let him because, quote-unquote, editing was literally my job, unquote. This was a post in early July, and posts like these continued well into the month, this time at Inkros, the right-leaning creator she shipped Josh with. Quote, she's just another far-right conservative with a persecution complex, stamping her feet at the fact that the world is changing around her. Shoulder check her out of the way and she'll keep moving. She'll either grow up of her own volition, or reality will force her to grow up. Unquote. Lily, still in July, states she is unsure what the catalyst was for her falling out with Josh Scorcher, but does say, quote, I often get called petty, vindictive, or even abusive by people who don't know what abusive means. Because I'm less than 100% polite and capitulating. Because I don't tell someone their beliefs are 100% grounded in reality when they clearly aren't. But the kind of behavior I meant.
My god, Lily Orchard is just everything rolled up horrible into one, aren't they? Fucking edgy atheist, fuck you if you're religious, you're dumb, and your opinions don't fucking matter, and you're stupid low IQ. And then we got motherfucking... trans weird shipping fanfic fucking politics derangement syndrome. It's everything.
Mentioned above is something I find particularly scummy. I can't reach subtle, nonverbal communication, especially not over the internet. Unquote. September marked the third month of her aggression towards Josh and his friends, now stating that Inkros was homophobic. So now Lily was requesting her audience harass her by, quote, beat a troll by trolling harder. Commission or draw artwork of her and KP, or any other woman for that matter, in very romantic situations.
I believe you all know who this is. Is this I Love Kim Possible a lot?
Put it on DeviantArt and make sure her icon is in the description so she gets notified every time. And when she tells you to stop, just keep going. Quote, how about I do anyway, unquote. Eventually she'll explode and take off the very thin veil that isn't fooling anybody. Or she'll stop mouthing off about shipping like such a baby, unquote. Side note, on the same day, she answered a question about the moral implications of incest and states that in fiction, the negatives of it can be mitigated like the deformities in offspring because, quote, when you're in the position of God, there isn't a single issue you can't RNG your way out of, unquote. Still in September, Lily claimed Josh, quote, liked to spew a near-reactionary manifesto to me in private chats, unquote. A few days later, she was now starting to believe that Inkros is so homophobic that she is actually gay herself. Lily was not doing well, as she was claiming that in this post her caffeine addiction had gotten so bad, she apparently only had 2 years.
Yeah, it's the caffeine that's doing this to you, nothing to do with the weird sexual content you're making as a child in the porn that you're, the porn that you're looking at, all that. It was certainly the fucking caffeine. Next is gonna be pot. I voted for Obama twice, Tonto.
Years to live. Then, Lily in October.
Because you know what fucking happens if I don't in 2012? Fucking Tonto bot on goddamn Tumblrs coming at us to say that we're fucking Nazis, gonna lock them all up in FEMA camps, but when the right says it, it's dumb for some reason.
Continued her tirades on Josh Scorcher, escalating this one-sided campaign to the point where she made a video.
Newbie Dash is an episode I've been trying to talk about in detail for a very long time, but it's an episode that is fundamentally difficult to discuss in a public venue. Because the Wonderbolts draw a lot of parallels to the military, a lot of military bronies hold the episode in high regard because of its supposed accuracy. The most vocal of these people being Joshua Burr, Burner, the founder of FOB Equestria and known for serving 5 years in the Marine Corps. Then I remembered something important. Mr. Burner wasn't actually in the military, he was in the Marine Corps' band, the ceremonial I'm helping of most military branches.
Lily, as she had done in the past, masked the intent of the video. While initially presented as a breakdown of a My Little Pony episode, this video is largely an attack on Josh Scorcher.
Josh himself used to rant to my face about how college students need to have their opinions challenged. However, when his ignorant worldview was challenged, repeatedly, he decried it as emotional abuse. He once complained about the fact that I wouldn't let him compare Spike living with Twilight to self-hating black slaves in the South, despite the fact that
we might need to watch this video later. This seems to have some good fucking points. This might convert my political opinions.
this was literally my job that he was paying me to do.
This video then gets into the subjects of bullying and to its most infamous line.
Attitude can fuck off.
Self-plug if you missed it, I uploaded a video that is of Luke Beasley bullying Asmongold is a true leftist saying that fucking ugly guy needs to go outside. Because that's what leftists do, they go outside and they fucking exercise and they hang out on the beach. Unlike those fat fucking gamer right-wingers.
And die in a ditch along with the malignant human cancer that defend it. If you're a child watching this right now and you're being bullied in school, here's what you do.
Like, I get it being mad about American imperialism, whatever the fuck that means nowadays. No, I don't want to be a part of a country that hurts others to exist, you know? That's what the fuck ever, but like... I'm sorry, these fucking I hate the military people just make me like the military, because it is just straight up bullying, because these fucking people could never do any of the things they are. It has nothing to do with nationalism, or fucking any of that. It's just the fact that I hate it when people who can't do a certain job judge other people for not being able to do it. Doesn't matter if it's cops, a fucking EMT worker, or a McDonald's cashier. If you couldn't do it, shut the fuck up.
Demand that your bully cease their behavior, and if they refuse, grab the heaviest object you can reliably swing and beat their fucking teeth in.
Besides implying that Josh Scorcher is a malignant cancer, her encouragement of violence was not entirely well received. 8chan were, right after Lily's video on Josh Scorcher released, concerned for his well-being, where Josh Scorcher replied, quote, "I see that some of you here are legitimately concerned for my well-being, as well as Ink Roses. I thank you for your concern. While I can't and won't speak for Ink Rose, I want to say that I'm okay. I can fight my own battles, and I've survived a lot of physical, mental, and emotional heartache in my life." Unquote. Josh also stated that he intends to continue turning the other cheek, but this was likely posted before Josh Scorcher saw the video, because on his Tumblr on October 11th, he announced he would no longer be silent. 12 days later, on October 23rd, Josh uploaded his response to Lily. Here, Josh Scorcher breaks down the falling out he had with her.
I went over to Lily's Tumblr a week later to scope things out, and sure enough, I saw Lily calling for the deaths of all Republicans. Lily Pete has said at present that I never called out any alleged abusive behavior and never presented the chance to improve. That's a lie. I have called out her behavior several times. Lily just made excuses every time and shifted the goalposts to make it look like I was the bad guy for even trying to call out this behavior.
Josh Scorcher is expressing a common experience with Lily in that there is initial hope to fix her destructive behavior, yet is typically met with dismissal. And with this video, he did more than just clear his name. He expressed his experience with Lily. This had a unifying aspect in that it allowed other victims of Lily to realize how abusive Lily had been to them.
Because at the time, I thought I was the only person that she had treated that kind of way. And I saw Josh Scorcher's video talking about his experiences with her. I realized that not only was I not the only one she had treated that way, but she was using her platform to lure in people to do that to.
Josh Scorcher is expressing a similar sentiment in the discovery that he was not the only one treated this way.
And I'm not the only one. Other people have called out Lily's behavior before, and each response from Lily was that of indifference or claiming that they are strawmanning her.
The rest of the video breaks down 8chan's concern of him, Lily overstepping her boundaries as an editor, his political differences with Lily, him defending his role in the Marines, and both Lily's claim that Ingrose was a lesbian alongside her harassment campaign of pushing her viewers to create unwelcome lewd art of her. Overall, Josh Scorcher's video was well received, and Lily did have a small decrease in subscribers due to it. On her Tumblr, she turned down the heat, stating now she doesn't want all Republicans.
Yeah, Michael, the thing is, Tonto's here to remind us that people say that shit every fucking political cycle. It's either the right wing's getting thrown into FEMA camps, or all marginalized groups are gonna be rounded up by the KKK people of heavy boots. That's what's gonna happen. It's one or the fucking other.
To die. Just 2, and for the rest to grow up. But then she was now stating she never called for the death of Republicans, and to that extent Josh Scorcher with him being Republican, and that her attitude was always just fuck them, going as far to say, quote, "It's a complete and total lie. The only way it's possible to take my exact wording on a certain post as quote-unquote kill all Republicans is you literally cannot read. He is lying to look like more sympathetic to an audience that he knows will not bother to look for any more information on the subject." Unquote. In fairness to Lily, she did not state in exact wording kill all Republicans. She instead did state, quote, "Republicans are trying to kill you, kill them first." Unquote. With public perception of Lily being mostly
Hey, what's that? What's that? Wait! Y'all, we might have to watch Nux cover Lily Orchard. What the fuck is Illuminati doing in this thumbnail? Did you collab with Illuminati, Nux? What the fuck?
being mostly negative, more videos were coming out against her, like Blake describing how his blog gushing over Lily impressed her.
This blog impressed Jerry enough to consider adding me to his team called Valkyr Studios. However, it wasn't until his director and girlfriend, Tara Jennifer Cayley, who I would later find out was one of Jerry's many sock puppets, cornered me in private chats and forced me to admit that I was sexually attracted to Jerry, that I was allowed into the group. Granted, that would only last for a few months, but when you find out why I only lasted a few months, you will understand why.
Blake goes over his time in Valkyr Studios, experience with Lily lambasting the members publicly, and specific to him, being the studio whipping boy.
Now, it would be one thing if Pete was just verbally and emotionally abusive, but unfortunately he had to take the next fucking step and be sexually abusive. You see, sometime in October of 2013, Pete approached me on Skype, talking about money troubles and conveniently mentioning how Tara was cam whoring to make ends meet. When I suggested that he do the same, because in my defense I mentioned that there are so many of his fans who are attracted to him, he, just like before, turned it around on me and made it all about how I wanted to see that and refused to take no for an answer, continuing to bother me until I finally caved. This means that he...
Well, no, I was just curious if that was a newer Nux video that's being used for B-roll. I could just look. B-roll on June's video, or if he was around covering this shit back in the day. I didn't know he covered Art CC.
He coerced me, which is not consent, by the way. I don't care where
Clearly, I simp for Nick Diorio, please.
you are. Coercion is never consent. Into watching him strip on camera.
Blake goes on to say Lily was interrupted by family and didn't get past taking off her shirt. Blake also claims Lily flirted with a minor, but it's a bit more complex than that, and also brings up Stockholm.
This work was so disgusting that Nintendo Gal, whom we mentioned before as being Pete's co-writer, voiced her own distaste for the direction the fic was taking and got fired for it.
Blake goes into other grievances and then into this.
The second question that is most likely on everyone's minds is, Blake, why have you been referring to Jerry as Jerry and she and whoops, got a little ahead of myself. He in this video. when he came out as transgender months ago and changed her name to Lily. Are you, by chance, transphobic? Ooh. The answer is no, I am not. That Pete is using transgenderism to avoid criticism for their
Just like Caitlyn Jenner, but God forbid you didn't say she was stunning and brave.
actions and to essentially get away with advocating murder.
Blake makes the argument that Lily is not transgender because of her previous dislike of the community, though Lily also carries the belief that such strong opposition to any community secretly means they are a part of it, and so Blake's reasoning doesn't hold up. Regardless, Lily was under attack, and on her Tumblr she began quoting
So under attack, call her a quartering channel.
her own characters, the quotes dealing with power and revenge. She was also posting images of herself at fans' requests. This is how she was appeasing her fans, yet she was doing something else to defend herself against her opposition. Mysteriously, right as Lily and Tara Kelly's writings were being re-examined for their illegal contents, the Accord of account, the account that Tara claimed ownership of, deleted its only work. A mother's love, a daughter's passion, was wiped from the account. A strange happening, considering that by Lily's testimony, she was in jail. Lily had to step lightly. Starting 2017, she was expressing how 8chan and QB Farms were doxing and harassing her. Adding to this list of opponents was Anime Christie, an artist that found that her art made it into Lily's video, Glass of Water Bombing Run. Seeing this, Anime Christie enlisted a friend to approach Lily, asking Lily to credit Anime Christie for the image, which Lily responded, quote, "I only credit artwork if it has a considerable presence within the video."
Because it would be such a stain on your content if you dare had to write a few words and copy and paste a link in your motherfucking description of a video that probably won't be evergreen, but whatever.
Unquote. The friends seemed to understand that the art did not have much significance in the video and settled on, quote, "Okay, but in the future, could you not use her artwork then?" Unquote. To which Lily responded, quote, "I'll think about it." Unquote. At some point after, Anime Christie allegedly contacted Lily directly, but Lily remembered a time Anime Christie allegedly slighted her, which is when Lily sent her this screenshot of her Tumblr implying that a credit would be pointless. This story then became public, and there was a small outcry on Twitter with users tweeting #RespectTheArtist directed towards Lily. Lily responded in two ways. First, she muted tweets that included the hashtag. Second, she told Anime Christie that if it's that important, then she should file a DMCA. This is a copyright process that takes the video down. And so Anime Christie filed the DMCA and took Lily's video down. Lily then filed to get the video back up, a process that can only be stopped by a lawsuit, which would be highly unlikely. On her Tumblr, she was planning to address the drama head-on under a video titled An Artist Meltdown Story. In the post, she states, quote, "Remember when Josh tried unsuccessfully to sabotage my career? I was inundated by a massive amount of people detailing just how much I'd enriched their lives and changed their views and helped them grow as people. I still get that kind of mail. I am not hurt in any significant way by this garbage. It's why I made Garbreak. It's why I'm in the process of making this." Unquote. Though Lily regards Garbreak as a success, current day the video received so much hate that she took it down. And like Garbreak, the video against Anime Christie was also taken down for the same reason. In it, she recaps the situation up to this point and makes her intentions clear.
One could argue that I could have just given her the credit if it was that important to her and let her have such a petty victory, but to me, it's the principle that matters. This is not the way you behave when you want something from me. You do not run in, make demands, and then try, in a hilariously unsuccessful manner, to sabotage my career when you don't get your way. And that's a hard lesson that every diva artist is going to have to learn. It doesn't matter how slighted you think you are. It doesn't matter how betrayed you think you are. When you want something from me, the only thing that matters is your behavior. If you want to get...
How did Lily Orchard now become like a fucking monarch, a fucking British nobility fucking monarch now? How dare a goddamn peasant, an average person, ask for something with their own property that you stole?
Me to do something for you. I do not cave to threats. I do not cave to grabbing all your mates and dogpiling me. Josh tried that crap. twice, and that's someone with a massive and rabid fanbase who will go so far as to dox me and threaten to kill me and my family, and it still didn't get me to stop calling him out on his bullshit.
Besides showing the handful of Tumblr posts of support that she screenshotted and collected, she's still attacking Josh Scorcher. She's also claiming that his audience directly was threatening her and her family. But here, Lily only shows screenshots of the video as would appear in the YouTube search. As she had done ad nauseum, she did not provide evidence of such egregious accusations. She did not provide evidence of Josh Scorcher encouraging his audience to attack her, nor any link to hate comments back to Josh Scorcher. And Lily did not just not provide evidence, she also disregarded Josh stating this in his video.
So I am begging, pleading, everyone who watches this video, do not go and leave death threats or harassment on Lily's video. Please. That's not acceptable under any circumstances.
But what about the second video from 2013 that Lily also showed? This seems to be a bit more of a legitimate connection, where Josh even attributes the video to his audience leaving death threats. But in this follow-up is furious at his audience for it.
And if you also check the front page of his Tumblr, death threats. Did you guys learn nothing? Did you guys learn nothing from the Master of Foxes? How I flew off the handle at you guys again because you freaking sent your death threats! And now you're doing it to Ballspawn.
Lily, after receiving such tremendous pushback, was hiding the dislike bar and either removing comments or selectively approving them. For example, her bombing run video has 128,000 views, yet only 34 comments. The likes on virtually all the comments outnumber the total amount of comments. All of these comments are suspiciously all positive, except for this one where a user asked, quote, "What, Lily, do I need a YouTube Red account to see the like ratio?" unquote. Which Lily responded, quote, "No, the like/dislike ratio needs to actually mean anything for me to consider showing it," unquote. Lily had made a grave error. While the initial Anime Christie drawbomb was minor, it had ballooned in the worst way possible. In her video, she uses an artistic depiction of herself to express her points. This is what is known within her community as a puppet. Josh Scorcher's puppet, via his pony, is Firebrand, etc. This is a very common theme because a fair portion of creators in this space are also artists, and did not take kindly to Lily's response to one. As various creators were coming out against Lily, Lily responded to this new wave of hate by making a 6-point list of criticisms. Points 1, 4, and 6 are, quote, "You're arrogant, have a huge ego, think your opinion is the opinion," unquote, are all the same. These criticisms relate to Lily's presentation being either perceived as arrogant, or her points appearing to be exhausted. Points 2 and 3 are also the same thing, and relate to her not engaging with criticism, whether through selectively approving comments or not engaging with creators who bring forward this criticism. In point 2, she ironically states, quote, "What I actually do, as I've explained numerous times, is filter out uninteresting comments to only show the ones that I actually bother to engage with," unquote. Lily fails to expand on her criteria of why she would engage with these comments. Then in point 3, she explains why she doesn't do debates or interviews. Quote, "They always have very little to offer than a dissenting opinion. A dissenting opinion isn't much, they're common," unquote. Point 5 is, quote, "You're just as bad as insert thing I complain about," unquote, which is not a constructive criticism but does inflate Lily's list. This post is 1,265 words, yet none of it addresses the real criticisms, like her misreporting of Josh Scorcher, her weaponizing her audience to make unwelcome art of Inkros, her failure to address the contradictions between her admitting she was abusive towards Josh Scorcher in her apology and her dismissal of it, her stripping in front of Blake, her connections to Tara Callie, and to that extent, her connections to the work A Mother's Love, A Daughter's Passion, the entirety of Stockholm, and putting Nintendo Gal 55 under duress to write the work, her inclusion of Falcon in her game Doomsday Ascending, or her poor handling of the Anime Christie situation. These were only some of the publicly known criticisms of Lily Orchard, but Lily did not have to address these because they were already becoming widely known, and addressing them directly would only further tarnish her reputation. Regardless of her points, viewers were perceptive and were already suspicious of her content. especially the ones introduced to her work seeing the limited comments and the disabled dislike bar. Perhaps it was this continued negative attention that was making Lily more erratic. When asked, quote, lying all tied up and helpless in a cage full of horny dogs, unquote, Lily responded with, quote, well, on one hand, they're dogs, which is a downside. On the other hand, that's extremely degrading and humiliating, which is an upside. I'll let the asks make the case for either, unquote. On Twitter, she was seen correcting her mom for misgendering her, but doesn't yet correct the claim of her being high-end autistic. This is where Lizzie Orchard comes in. Lizzie was a woman that Lily was dating at the time, and though not married, Lily would later take the last name Orchard, changing her name from Lily Pete to Lily Orchard. Here, Lizzie is seen arguing with Lily's mom on behalf of Lily. Lily's mother stating that Lily just holds grudges and refuses to see the other person's opinion, and so on. Lily then jumps in to defend Lizzie. Quote, you talk to my wife like that one more time and I'll break your fucking nose, bitch, unquote. Lily then again berates her mother for misgendering her, then tells her to grow up. After yet another response from her mother requesting Lily manage Lizzie better, Lily threatens her mother with violence again. This confrontation ends with Lily's mother stating to not poke the bear, where then Lily continued to prod. Lily later states in a response to a Twitter user who witnessed the confrontation, quote, and none of her children have autism to begin with, unquote, claiming further down,
You're the one who claimed you had autism because it's everyone's favorite cope for everything.
that all the
Patchwork Heart's a user too.
diagnoses directed at her and her brother were overturned recently. Lily at this point was jumping from conflict to conflict. Now in September, she was allegedly talking about Britt, referring to her as an old friend who she had a falling out with because Britt wouldn't listen to her personal issues, and that Lily had enough and left a page-long speech before removing her from her life. These were a series of posts where Lily also calls her a rumor mongerer. But what sparked this?
And how that ended up happening was kind of funny, because I released the Terra conversations first, just because there wasn't as many of them. And Lily immediately started going into damage control, started claiming that she didn't even really know me and Blake. We were charity cases. I was a fair weather friend. We weren't even friends. She was name dropping me, which at the time I hadn't revealed my legal name publicly yet, so she was just straight up doxing me.
This is why Lily was so aggressive. But little did she know Britt had more ammunition.
And I let her go on like that for about a week, and then I dropped our direct Skype conversations, proving that all wrong, and she immediately privated her Twitter.
The chat logs between Britt and Tara and Britt and Lily, as shown earlier, were now all made public. From Tara's persistence in trying to get her and Lily together, to Tara's strange description of Tara being a 6'3" tall redhead. These screenshots for the time being would go unaddressed, and Lily would resort to attributing highly malicious comments to Britt. But these were not very convincing, and Lily's history continued to be re-examined. Like with this 20-minute long video compiling instances where Lily directly plagiarized from the My Little Pony TV Tropes page. The videos criticizing her had hardly slowed down. They were also getting broader in examining Lily rather than examining individual controversies she was involved in.
They still haven't even gotten to the Steven universe yet. Yeah, speaking of Blake, I'm not actually up on the Blake Lively drama. I haven't seen her since I watched Gossip Girl back in the day.
At the start of 2018, Lily found herself in a new controversy, one that did not originate from her, and one that she could use to improve her image.
This could destroy my career here, guys.
I'm sorry to...
Hello? There we go! There we go! All roads lead to this! This is, the Josh who is hosting this call, not the British one. That's the one that she's fucking with.
But you should have thought of that before you started sexting
What about
a 14-year-old girl.
Yeah.
In 2018, the creator Toon Critic Y2K, also known as Zach, was exposed for having inappropriate relations with a minor. The news initially spread within a pocket of creators and their friends, And so a private call between Josh Scorcher and a few other members trying to get Toon Critic to turn himself in to the police took place.
Dude, look, I made a stupid mistake, alright? I'm trying to fucking change from that. I get it, alright? I did some stupid stuff.
If I may explain as calmly as possible, a mistake is saying something inappropriate. A mistake is calling someone the wrong gender nowadays. What you did is a crime.
It would be difficult to translate this into an arrest, and so throughout this call, the creators were offering to keep it private from their side if Toon Critic turned himself in. While Toon Critic initially agreed to the idea, he did not react well to them wanting to verify that he actually went to the police station.
Because what's going to happen is, after the 24 hours, we will still be contacting the police. Now, if you've done it before us, then, it'll just be us giving them the information they need to follow through with the case.
Please. If you will let me do this.
Toon Critic had no intention of actually turning himself in, and this call was posted on January 25th. And with that, more and more people were coming out against Toon Critic, including an artist known as Patchwork Heart.
But he was obsessed with remarks about my breasts and with sexual roleplay. He knew I had a boyfriend, but I was so desperate to stay around, I didn't fight back against any of it. I wanted so badly for these people to like me.
It's weird though. Well, this is Toon Critic, so it's probably true, but I don't know about Patchwork, but I kind of wonder if if Kim Possible or the Emily, whoever lied about Saberspark, kind of feels like stole this girl's delivery.
I tried to elevate their voices to let these people be heard, but nobody listened. No one except Sketchy the Changeling, Lily Pete, Eliora, and Aeon of Dreams.
And then another creator came out as a victim of Toon Critic. Their video was mirrored on Lily's channel, where Lily also made the allegation that Josh Scorcher knew about Toon Critic for some time, yet didn't do anything. Josh Scorcher on his Tumblr refuted this and turned it back on Lily, stating that she knew about the allegations because Patchwork Heart told Lily. Patchwork then informed Josh Scorcher that Lily kept quiet as per their request. Josh Scorcher states that he finds it strange, and despite the request, Lily still knew about the allegations. Patchwork then responds by taking the blame and that they should have allowed Lily to go entirely public as soon as she was informed. Josh Scorcher then states that Lily is still at fault and still did not inform the public, yet is accusing him of doing the same thing. The following responses go into the minutiae of how it should have been handled. And then, in the following month, in February, Josh released a video breaking down the Toon Critic situation. This largely involves a video by Dr. Wolf that was poorly received, while accepting Toon Critic's crime.
Everything's attached to this, like the most OG of the YouTube dramas.
Were egregious. He was petitioning his audience to forgive him in the Christian sense of letting go of anger and frustration. While good-intentioned, the rawness of the situation combined with the crimes and the countless victims coming out meant that this video was not well received. And with Josh Scorcher sharing this video, in his own video he was apologizing for it now, understanding that it was a major miscommunication. He also apologizes to Patchwork for his responses on Tumblr and then to Lily.
I also want to take this time to apologize to Lily Pete. In my anger, I accused and judged you of things without any evidence. The very thing I didn't want people to do to us.
Lily, as claimed through the comments on Josh Scorcher's video, did not accept the apology. Many comments state that he should not have apologized to Lily at all. As for Lily, she was taking Josh Scorcher's submittance and running with it. She was taking the Toon Critic situation and a friendship with Patchwork and also running with that. Lily, as this was all coming out, made her own statement on Tumblr stating that the Brony fandom has a pedophilia problem. Here she cites two offending websites that are packed to the brim with content for these people, Femfiction and Derpyboru. She also states, quote, "There are a large number of fan artists and fan writers who produce redacted and get away with it because they just barely stay within those boundaries," unquote. She specifically cites Volcon, and goes as far to say that these people are freaks, and the acceptable amount of this content is 0%.
You were 1000% about all that stuff a few years ago, and you weren't even a minor.
This was found in her script for a now deleted video, but this video has been archived where she states these things and more. She also made an addendum video where she presses the dagger further into Dr. Wolf for his video. The glaring issue is not so much Lily's statement that there is content on fanfiction meant to gratify predators. It is that Lily has written this content. Lily has made games with images explicitly sharing this content. Among those dedicated to this content, Lily sits at the top by co-authoring an over 700,000 word piece gratifying such content. But Lily still had her plan.
She does it to cover her ass. Like, straight up, that's the only reason she does it. That started way back with the Toon Critic situation, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with that whole mess. No, Toon Critic was someone who got outed as being a predator in the Brony community, which, you know, set up all this shit with Josh Scorcher and all this other stuff. Well, that happened around the time I had started leaking my chat logs with Lily and proving that Lily herself was a pedophile and into kids and animals and all this other crap. So when the Toon Critic situation popped off, Lily latched onto it and started championing herself as this voice of reason and righteous anger toward the pedophile problem in the Brony community, and
the Brony Leviathans are coming.
Advertising herself as a safe haven for victims and all this other stuff. And while she was doing that, anytime she was asked about the accusations against her, she would use that and be like, how could this be true when I'm so openly against this other predator over here?
With not many people being acquainted.
Yeah, how many interrogation videos do we see where I actually hate pedophiles? There's no way I touched my kid. Yeah, sure.
With Lily's history and with Lily's short-sighted plans providing even minimal success, she was again calling for the deaths of all GOP members. And she still knew that she had Josh Scorcher on the back foot. To this, she was able to get him into a call with Patchwork and Josh Scorcher's own brother, where both Patchwork and Lily lecture Josh on his handling of the situation. After an hour of this, Lily drops the veil and plays her hand.
But personally, I think a much bigger, a much more impactful gesture in that sense would be to just take down all four of them.
Definitely something to consider.
All four of what?
All four response videos. The 2 to me, the 1 to Master of Foxes, the 1 to Flames on Fire. All of them.
Certainly something to consider.
Yeah.
Lily is then met with grunts from Josh Scorcher.
All the 4 of those videos were emblematic of this kind of jump immediately to the worst extreme possible under the face of minor criticism. Or in the case of 2 of them, minor criticism to something you liked.
To this, Josh did not comply. Those videos, the ones criticizing Lily Orchard personally, which are wholly unrelated to the Toon Critic situation, remain up. Lily kept on pushing and pushing, but she pushed too much. In March, Lily, in a Tumblr post asking how to handle Josh, stated, quote, turn his own tactics back on him. Spam dislike his videos. Flood his comments. Rate his streams will probably be the most effective. Unquote. Lily was weaponizing her audience to harass Josh. That's when Josh Scorcher had enough and
I'm sorry, I can't imagine being this big of a fan of, well, I guess they're doing fucking Brony videos, but I'm sorry. Fan fiction, I am not going to war for any of the writers of any of the fan fictions I read. I'm sorry, I won't.
Brought up Stockholm. This was explosive because bringing up Stockholm brings up Lily's contradictions with her stance on fanfiction works. It brings up Tara Callie, which Lily addressed here, conveniently stating how Tara Callie had confided in her interests to people like Britt, but fails to bring up how Tara Callie was always convincing people like Britt, Blake, and Nintendo Gal to enter into sexual relationships with Lily, how Lily was the only person who ever saw Tara, how Tara was a director for Lily's videos, or how Lily was so close to Tara she had a key to her apartment and somehow was allowed to beat her up in jail. Lily's lies had become so convoluted that she had trouble keeping up with them. The messages she was getting were so great that she even closed her advice column. Josh's light push against Lily had turned her world upside down. But there was more, because now in April, Josh sent a cease and desist to Lily to stop her now nearly 3-year-long harassment campaign against him. Lily, in response, posted a video ranting about Josh that did not have much substance. And back on Tumblr, she addresses a Twitter post of Josh screenshotting a chapter from what is presumably Stockholm. Lily is stating that Josh is sharing CP, and accused her of creating it without tangible proof. But there was plenty. Josh even reposted.
I think this is because I was trying to explain to someone why Tumblr was such a mess, and it was because Tumblr was a good site for posting your art, sharing all that stuff. The UI was way ahead of its time. We still can't get decent UI on most social medias, but the problem was it was so good that it attracted all the artists. What happens when you put all the artists in the world together? It's already bad enough when they all get together in the cities. But here, like, I would just randomly follow people who I thought we were in the same fandoms with and stuff. I liked the stuff they reblogged or whatever. And next thing I know, there would be a fucking drama like this. Just on who's tracing, who's plagiarizing today. Oh my god.
Not only a post shipping him and Inkros, but also Lily admitting, quote, "Also I wrote a book where a 15-year-old ran off with a 38-year-old and you all thought it was lovely," unquote. This is the Stockholm entry Razzle Dazzle. Lily has admitted in the past that this was her favorite entry as well. Besides lines in Razzle Dazzle like, quote, "First off, have you done this before? Taking advantage of vulnerable teenage girls on the rebound and seducing them with what they want," unquote. And the word mommy being used 545 times, mostly in a sexual connotation, Lily not only describes this as her favorite entry, but also in a deleted but re-uploaded video, she shows Adagio as a human, and makes a very specific reference to the story.
If I can take this brutal sadist and write her as a loving matriarch that rivals Fluttershy when it comes to sincere kindness, I'm pretty sure you can make an alicorn. You can make a good story out of anything. Now if you'll excuse me, I have more Mommy Dagio to write.
Back to April 2018, Lily was now stating that Josh Scorcher was an alt-right mouthpiece, and that he was somehow enabling pedophilia.
Already that brony got promoted to alt-right, but don't forget though, poll on 4chan in the MLP board got fucking merged, and some of them did get converted to Nazism, it's true.
From here, Josh Scorcher, escalating from the cease and desist, announced he was getting a restraining order and taking a bit of a hiatus. Lily still continued to post about Josh Scorcher and continued to get attacked for it. During this time, she even had a falling out with Patchwork. As for Lily's social media accounts, the hate had gotten so bad, Lily announced that a different person would be controlling them. This only lasted for a short period, and the person controlling them went under the alias Maud Ibarra, who claimed that Lily was receiving hate for being against CP. While this was a lie, it is very much true that Lily was receiving a tremendous amount of hate, and the volume would only increase as she posted what would become her most viewed video to date. On September 24th, 2018, Lily posted Steven Universe's Garbage and Here's Why. This was followed up by another similarly popular, yet
An hour 30 in, we get to the thing that I know her from. Legend of Korra is Garbage, and here's why.
Controversial video titled The Legend of Korra is Garbage, and Here's Why. While the like to dislike bar were disabled, Lily did post an image of her YouTube studio showing that both videos received around 75% likes. The Steven Universe video was particularly scorned.
Things that cannot and should not be forgiven, and yet it insists on doing them anyway. Steven Universe is that mother who tells her daughter, "Oh, that boy pulled your hair because he likes you," tacitly teaching them that affection is shown through violence. Do I think Rebecca should?
Okay, so whatever the fucking point this stupid cartoon video had to make, it was kind of lost right there, wasn't it?
Sugar is a fascist sympathizer. No. Do I blame anybody who comes to the conclusion that she is based on Steven Universe's content? No. I maintain that Rebecca Sugar remains completely unaware of the implications of her writing because she's just not paying attention outside of her very specific goals.
The common critique, not relating to Lily greatly misunderstanding the animation industry, is her disregarding that this is a kids show that is meant to express forgiveness and understanding and is not directly related to real-life events. It's meant primarily to entertain, but also to send an overall message of understanding to children. The show does have its complexities and achievements, such as being the first kids show on US television to feature a lesbian wedding. Because it does have mature topics and pushes boundaries.
Not gay, though. straight up fucking defeated by the show Arthur every day when you're walking down the Pride Street.
It does receive a fair amount of praise and criticism. As to how this relates to Lily lambasts the creator, Rebecca Sugar, for the main character Steven, typically redeeming other characters. Some that Lily considers genocidal, which is not exactly the case, but that lends more into the complexities of the show. The issue with Lily is that in her own fanfictions, like Doomsday Ascending, Lily undoubtedly redeems irrefutable genocidal characters, and it was not just in this writing that Lily did this.
If you go through...
So she really does think since I came out against this, I didn't do it. Case closed. Please let me go.
Pretty much every other one of her fanfics, that's a common thing with her main characters. They're always genocidal maniacs written to be sympathetic. From Lord Ryder, from her original Family Guy fanfictions, to Essentia, to Aliana in her Star Wars fics. Like, it's always a genocidal maniac written to be sympathetic.
Lily was having a terrible year. In October, she states she was a victim to a terrible crime. And then in December, she announced that Lizzie and her had broken up. A breakup that seemingly came out of nowhere. And then Lily stated that Lizzie had swatted her, and this was her third swatting. But as Lily was further questioned, it became more likely that these were just wellness checks. The following day, Lily made it clear that Lizzie was a wonderful person, and makes it clear that she was not abused by her. And so Lily stated she had a lonely Christmas. Britt, now in January of 2019, possibly seeing the state of Lily, was trying to amend things, but Lily was not. The breakup, the situation with Josh Scorcher, her falling out with Patchwork, the criticisms around the Steven Universe video, all influences that kicked 2019 off with Lily spouting pure vitriol. The way this was different was that she was not exactly campaigning against any individual person, but rather sporadically attacking virtually everyone, from her parents, her sister, a creator that lightly criticized her. Things were even going further south with Lizzie. As Lily was stating, they were no longer on speaking terms. This year for Lily was pure chaos. Not only was she sporadically attacking anyone at will, but also her sexual deviancy had also taken a new form. What started as posting images and poses as per fans' requests turned into images of her posting her bare breasts. Even her claims were getting wilder. She called a different controversial cartoon reviewer a fascist, stated that people that dislike Antifa are Nazis, called Rebecca Sugar an accidental Nazi apologist, and then stated in response to her flagrant attacks that fascism is the core of being a conservative, and then ties it all back to Steven Universe and Rebecca Sugar. While Lily's attacks were ineffective due to her overall lack of evidence for her claims and her overall lack of credibility, there was one attack that shook the hornet's nest. Though Patchwork and Lily were not on good terms, Lily calling Patchwork, quote, a dishonest, drug-addicted nutcase, unquote, was a poor move.
Sorry, Keffels, you done got called out. Now you were uncomfortable with the Q slur. What was that? Was that queer? How fuck was I on this website, dude?
Considering what Patchwork had on Lily. As a direct response, Patchwork created this rather lengthy Twitter thread against Lily, and at the end of the thread, Patchwork states, quote, you're a cruel, selfish, awful person, Lily, and I might be a drug-addicted delusional schizo, but at the very least, I didn't pressure someone to draw my wife's favorite OC having incestuous dog sex, unquote. Looking at Patchwork's DeviantArt, she states that she doesn't do that kind of art. But Lily was an exception because it was, as Patchwork claims Lily told her, quote, the only thing that alleviates her dysphoria, unquote. And though these various drawings...
Looking at fucking... If you need to look at fucking bestiality rape porn to work out your body dysphoria demons, I would think you're not doing something right. That doesn't seem healthy. I don't think any doctor would prescribe that.
Of a dog and Lily cannot be shown, they very much exist and are unfortunately detailed. Lily responded to her commissioning these images with a long-winded non-answer, possibly a choice done to avoid the direct connection between what these drawings detail and what Tara Kelly states she did to dogs. Besides the motivation of enjoying this kind of imagery, there was also another reason why Lily requested this art.
And the reason she had those commissioned was to get back at Lizzie. Like, that's Lizzie's character that she took after they broke up.
Lily had already found a new partner, an artist that started a webcomic with Lily. Lily, the main character of this comic, is drawn with her girlfriend Michaela, and as the name Pokemadhouse suggests, it takes place in the Pokemon universe. With an extensive catalog of Pokemon to choose from, Lily has only ever been obsessed with one, which is also at the center of the comic, and it is this Gardevoir named G. The Gardevoir, early into the comic, expresses a love for Lily. This is not a love as would be found in friendship, and not a love that would be found in family. This is a love of a sexual nature. Lily and her Gardevoir even express the desire to have kids, but genetically cannot. But they still obtain a child through a lab experiment that resulted in a human Gardevoir hybrid. The Gardevoir also tells Lily that she made a quote-unquote love bond with Lily in her sleep to extend her lifespan. Lily's character doesn't initially react well to what amounts to getting violated in her sleep, but Lily still essentially forgives the Gardevoir. This comic would go on for quite some time, used, like her other works, to express her desires, whether they are of a sexual nature or revenge. It is not a coincidence that
she's a fucking Angela Anaconda of fucking Pokemon porn. Lovely.
There is a strip where one of Lily's exes, with the trademark purple hair that Lizzie has, is villainized as an awful woman who broke Lily's heart one Christmas season. This is because Lily went from referencing Lily as a wonderful person to a terrible abuser. In response to someone asking Lily how she could move on so fast from Lizzie, Lily stated, quote, "Bitch, have you met her?" unquote. What escalated Lily's hatred of Lizzie was Lizzie in September showing concern on her Tumblr of Lily because there was a hurricane headed in her direction. Quote, "I know she's probably fine and that it isn't any of my business to be worried, it just popped into my head," unquote. Lily responded to this information with, quote, "Lizzie came a lot closer to killing me than a hurricane ever could have multiple times. Don't know why she pretends to give a shit, TBH," unquote. Lily has found her new target to harass. After Lizzie deleted her Tumblr, likely through the harassment of Lily, someone immediately scooped up her URL and changed the header to the word orgasm. Here they made a post that stated, quote, "Hi, can I get a fucking abuser? Anyways, 1, the Woody Collective is alive, and well 2, my main is at the New Fox Borough, and 3, if you want your URL back, message me on there," unquote. Lily, after being informed that her fans ran Lizzie off of Tumblr, stated, quote, "Correction. Lizzie ran herself off Tumblr after chatting shit and being unable to handle the backlash. Everything was fine for her until she decided to call me talking about her quote-unquote public villainization, and no doubt was met with a hailstorm of criticism. If you can't handle being dragged for saying stupid shit, don't say stupid shit."
Okay, non-criticism taker of the stars.
Unquote. This tension did die down for a few months, and Lizzie did mention at the end of the year that this year many people decided to hate her. As for Lily, at the start of 2020, she announced her engagement with Michaela, and would, from time to time, respond to questions about Lizzie. But her ire, for a period, was instead set on heterosexual people, calling them filthy. And in this post, referring to straight people
That's just what everybody was doing on Tumblr at this time, though.
As dirty goblins. And then 2 months later, Lily once again honed in on Lizzie. Quote, "Being with Lizzie caused me to develop anxiety and insecurity issues I previously didn't have, and those don't go away that easily," unquote. Lily would persistently jab Lizzie, even a year after the breakup. It's practically the first thing she did when she got back on Twitter. That and make a string of her 100 most infamous tips. On November 14th, 2020, Lily started a thread of tweets titled Simple Writing Tips, a thread.
Yeah, it wasn't received well. Not really. As you can see by the ratio here. 1,000 quote tweets.
This poorly received writing tips thread was not a thread of general writing advice, as Lily was trying to frame it as. It was a thread of her very specific criticisms of the very limited children's media she consumes, attempted to be blanketed over the entire craft of writing.
Not the real purpose of this list to be like, these are the shows I've disliked in the past 5 years. This is exactly what I talk about in reviews these days.
Movies owned by Disney and the old video game.
This is this person's only frame of reference.
I'm tempted to call projection at a certain point.
Yeah, no, genuinely, I think this is someone who is just kind of a slut shamer in real life, or at the very least a sex shamer.
Those clips were from a video that has garnered over 1 million views of two writers going over Lily's 100 writing tips. And as they find out, some of the advice isn't even about writing.
Just block them. Don't argue with them. Don't debate them. Don't treat them with good faith. Just block them and get on with your day. Not writing advice.
That's just Twitter advice! Oh my god! How can... Twitter is not a good place to talk about your stories.
The individual 100 tweets are both analyzed in this video, and at the very end, categorized where about 1/3 of them are not considered to be writing advice. Lily's tips had received so much ridicule that by December, the entire thread was gone. And possibly correlated to this new wave of negative attention, Lily turned her Tumblr asks off. For a while, Lily's Tumblr asks, particularly the ones that come from an anonymous source, are thought to be Lily asking herself questions in order to convey her thoughts on a matter without appearing to be unprovoked, whether the question was about Lizzie or anyone else she despises. And for that reason, the asks would take no time at all to come back. On December 7th, now 2 years since the breakup, Lizzie tweeted out, quote, "I've decided to try speaking openly about my history with my abusive ex. I've tried to maintain a respectful silence for 2 years now, to let us both move on with our lives. But in turn, she's used that to spread disparaging comments and outright lies about me." Unquote. This tweet chain was Lizzie stating that she was going to speak her truth when it feels appropriate. Lily, with her asks back on, responding to a question about why she would remain with Lizzie if she was so abusive, stated that Lizzie was abusive by, quote, "a lot of consistent behavior that can be really difficult to make sense of in the moment. Death by 1,000 cuts. I've always described that relationship as, quote, a slow and systemic destruction of my very self-work, unquote, and that's not an exaggeration, unquote." Lizzie's twitlonger was more descriptive in how Lily had wronged her. She opens with talking about how they had a mostly long-distance relationship and therefore digital relationship. Lily was always testing and then pushing boundaries. A large point of contention was the art. Quote, "I was drawing a lot of suggestive artwork for her, usually of the two of us, sometimes of just me. Digital nudes, hand-drawn sex tapes, and maybe this wouldn't have been a problem if I hadn't absolutely hated every second of it. And she knew that. I tried to tell her I was uncomfortable, and sometimes she appeared to listen, but that's where the guilt and subtle pressure would come in. She knew the ways to ask me that felt weird to refuse, because of the reasons private to her that I won't discuss here. It also felt beneficial to her mental health to do them." Unquote. Lizzie then described,
"If anyone's mental health interferes with your comfortability, fuck them, you don't owe them shit. Just saying, I am so sick of fucking, we need to be like everybody in the pony call when Toon Critic Y2K said he tried to take his life twice and they had no response because that wasn't what they were there to discuss."
That it came to a head when she was drawing on camera for Lily, but it was too much and she broke down on camera. In a follow-up tweet, with the drawings essentially depictions of herself, Lizzie states if Lily releases them, she will possibly sue as it is illegal in Canada. Lily essentially responded with these two posts. In this post, she believes she was gaslit by Lizzie in the relationship as a ploy to eventually tear her down. In the second post, she states that Lizzie will not stand stalwart in her boundaries.
Yeah, someone's dating you just so they can fucking expose you on Twitter when Tumblr when it comes convenient for you. Yep. You fucking random artist fucking Steven Universe fans. Everything hinges on this relationship.
Not just related to things Lizzie mentioned in her post, as she sometimes did things she hated without convincement in order to try to please Lily. As for Lily, she now believed Lizzie would, quote, "be on alt-right streams to shit-talk me soon enough," unquote. Lily then, in another post, stated that people only believe contradictory claims because it is convenient in their narrative to dislike her. This back and forth continued well into January 2021. A question was put forth as to why Lily kept the last name Orchard, which is Lizzie's last name, a choice done to show her commitment to their prior engagement. Lily responded by stating it was reverse colonialism. With Lily still not backing down, Lizzie released her second twitlonger, with how Lily has a propensity to treat people well when they're friends, and regard the relationships as terrible and abusive the moment things turn. Though Lily did not have much, if any strong claim against Lizzie, Lizzie did have quite a bit more to say, starting with Lily, quote, had started a quote-unquote game on her blog, where followers would tell her sexual things they would do to her, quote-unquote, in a consequence-free environment. Needless to say, I was shocked and extremely uncomfortable with my fiance doing this without asking me about it first, unquote. Lizzie, when this took place 2016, brought her feelings to Lily, but Lily disregarded them because it was a kink. Quote, my ex gave further reasons as to why she liked it, which were similar to why she pressured me into drawing the images for my last story. This quote-unquote game made her feel attractive and desirable in ways her mind didn't typically allow, and made her feel good about herself, unquote. Lizzie then states she allowed Lily to continue the game because she felt guilted. Lizzie also admits that she wasn't always forward with her feelings, even when asked by Lily, but then states that she believes Lily knew her true feelings but just did not care at all. This only allowed things to escalate. Quote, this went on for 2 months, from New Year's Eve to my birthday. On my 20th birthday, in the middle of calling my parents, I checked Tumblr and found the facade of the game had turned into my ex full-blown sexting with people. Roleplay sexting, unquote. Lizzie then threatened to break up with Lily, which is when she became remorseful and apologized to her. And Lily stopped those asks and deleted that Tumblr. Lizzie then claims that this was so sensitive that Lily told her if it came out that she was flirting with her audience, it could, quote, end her YouTube career, unquote. Later,
I'm sorry, did you fucking not... Did you not witness the drama of Toon Critic? You fucking put your, my career over, you know, people in your fucking super progressive liberalism here. People will call that out. Crabs in a bucket, y'all. Black Lives Matter.
Lizzie did post evidence of this game. This was largely held through a not safe for work Tumblr that she did delete. As for Lily, she was once again asked for evidence. And Lily did bring evidence, a total of 4 screenshots. The first was after the breakup with Lizzie, stating that Lily helped her in some ways. The second and third was of Lizzie admitting to lying about her conflicted feelings, which is something Lizzie already admitted to at this point. And the fourth was Lizzie confiding in a friend about being conflicted with how fast Lizzie was moving on. Lily attempts to spin these innocuous screenshots as Lizzie having a martyr complex and being a child. Overall, this post adds nothing. Lily, not convincing the populace, stated on Twitter that Lizzie was riling up a mob against her, now claiming that she was an abusive ex. It was then that Lily made her tweet longer explaining how Lizzie was abusive, and during her period of gender dysphoria, their sex life was virtually non-existent, and Lizzie pressured Lily to get their sex life back on track. Quote, on 3 occasions during visits, the guilt trips and pushiness grew too much to bear and I just gave in. It was some of the worst experiences in my life. It wouldn't be until years later that my therapist and friends listened to this story and told me that I had been assaulted, unquote. This back and forth once again died down for a period. Now, Lily calling people fascist or Nazi indiscriminately led to the question, what's Lily's definition of a Nazi? To her, it is any combination of these things. In a follow-up post, Lily then agrees that asking people to define Nazi in turn makes them a Nazi. Lily was being more erratic. On Tumblr, a user asked to see her breasts. Lily then complied and posted a link to them. And then in February, she decided to attack Josh Scorcher again, stating that posting what is possibly Stockholm means that he was spreading a CP. Continuing her hypocritical
What is this? Okay, one, it's actually not if it's text. Well, I guess it's... Well, because when women read their fucking Minotaur milking fucking books, you don't call it porn. They get away with calling it erotica. Smut at the very fucking least, right? So... I'm just saying whatever, even if you say it's CP, it's like, you created it, though. What the fuck you mean they're breaking the law? They're fucking exposing you, the predator, to the internet.
Nature, she was asking for bronies to die for sexualizing ponies, even though she's extremely guilty of such a thing. She then tweeted that bronies will never breed. Lily then made a claim that Lizzie sexually assaulted her in the worst way possible. Lizzie responded, quote, who cares, honestly. Everyone outside her little corner of the internet knows this is all lies. Just the anger of an ex on a relentless smear campaign, unquote. As for Lily, her mental state was not getting any better.
Fuck, I turned the light off again. Jesus! Why am I like this?
How do you do it?
What?
How do you keep turning it off?
Because I go to pull something out of my fucking eye, and it just, for some reason, I just turned the fucking light off.
Oh.
Ugh, I'm so goddamn sick and tired of being me. I hate that. I hate that I can just be so absent-minded like that. Alright, you know what? No more camera.
Okay.
I've had absolutely enough.
Why is he acting like his Minecraft footage mattered that much?
No. Enough of having a fidget and fuss with everything. And everyone's seeing how bad of a fidgeter I am.
That was from an April 2021 Minecraft stream. Though her reactions can be perceived in any way, this other stream titled Kingdom Hearts and Depression leaves little interpretation. In this stream, she also talks about her inheriting a Native American gene and her mother being displeased that she was not as tan as she could be.
I mean, like, well, my mother, I don't know why, like, I know why it's a sensitive issue for my mother, because my mother is Native, and I'm the only one of her children who actually inherited the Native genes, and so she's got a real bug up her ass about the fact that, you know, because of the situation I work in, I don't get a lot of sun, because I live in an in-ground apartment.
Lily was streaming more and more, and flashing more and more.
Lily in the flesh. I've been on camera a few times. I used to be on camera on streams a lot. I haven't done it in a long time. The last time I was on camera on stream, that stream got taken down because I flashed my boobs too many times. If you're lucky, maybe you'll get to see my boobs.
This video was likely not taken down by YouTube, but rather Lily to avoid YouTube taking it down. This is because nudity for sexual gratification is against YouTube's rules. And if the video was up...
Well, that's the thing with lol cows, right? They filmed their own fucking content, so the documentary people could just put them together. Hot take. I think there's people that identify as trans, they have gender dysphoria, it's like God put the soul in the wrong body, right? Then you got people where it's a fetish and they just always need to be extra and they're narcissists. You used to not be allowed to say these things because it'd be like, oh God, you're transphobic. But no, you gotta believe everybody and all victims and because they're victims of their mental illness. Like, no, some of these people are like fucking sexual predators or have a lot of other things wrong with them. Lily Orchard is one of them.
Long enough and gave the YouTube team long enough to look into it, Lily would be punished. This is a common way to abuse live streaming on YouTube, where smaller creators can delete evidence of their wrongdoing to circumvent their rule breaking. Lily was clearly looking for sexual gratification, and in further streams was looking for even more than that.
Well, I'm in Halifax. Halifax, Nova Scotia. That's the area I live. I'm not going to be more specific. I mean, if you want to meet up, then drop me a line somewhere. If you're local, or in the area and you want to meet up, just drop me a line.
Lily was still in a relationship with Michaela. As seen per this tweet, she was going to visit Lily, but it appears they have an open relationship and are soon to be married.
Me and Michaela are getting married in 2 days, everyone. Yes. Both gonna look so fabulous on your wedding day. It's not that kind of wedding, but okay.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a simple thing.
Yep.
It's less about the wedding and more than about us just being married.
As Lily became closer with Michaela, her relationships with virtually everyone else soured. At the start of 2022, she claims a stalker took photos of her residence, and after an altercation, the stalker was arrested, and Lily goes on to say, quote, "This is now the third time someone has taken this stalking and abuse offline. The last two being..."
I mean, I hate to say it, but I speak from experience because I was on Tumblr all the fucking time, and I did think to myself, okay, if being transgendered is so rare, because that seems quite rare, right? For just like someone to wake up and feel like this body's not mine, this disgusts me. Like, I get it, right? I was empathetic. But I'm thinking, but how's come on this site, Tumblr.com, where it's 90% white women, or 75% of you trans? That makes no fucking sense, I tell myself. And I think it was because of misery signal boosting fucking Olympics. Because you'd get more validation, more likes, more reblogs, all this shit. If you're like, guys, this horrible thing happened to this person. There's victims. We gotta save the victims. Us on the internet. And you'd get attention. Or if you were a victim, such as someone, if you're trans and someone attacked you or made threats on you, it'd be like, look how horrible things are. And everyone signal boosted. So I think a lot of people with autism who maybe don't know how to fit in or is, Lily Orchard fucking mess are like, you know what? If I become trans, then I'm rubber, you're glue. No one can say anything about me because then they're transphobic. Lily Orchard has created CP, spread fucking rape people pretty much, molester, dude, just forcing disgusting porn on people, doing all this, and then claims, and then attacks other people for doing it, to do damage control. This could all be a part of damage control. Yeah, virtue signaling.
Being now stabbed in September of 2018 and redacted in October of 2018. Unquote. In the past, Lily was asked to show the scar that resulted from the stabbing, but has refused to do so. As for the most recent stalker, Lily was openly talking about them on stream.
What happened? One of my stalkers came to my building, my apartment building, took a photo of it, sent it to me through email, and said, "This you?" That freaked me out, but they were actually still outside when they did that, so that led to a whole thing. I went out to confront them, and that devolved into a fight. I won the fight. Got a concussion in the process, but I won the fight. Guy was taken to the hospital because I bloodied him a bit. But he's being arrested, and I'm pressing charges for criminal harassment.
Was it Jeremy the Quartering? Was that person involved all a psyop, and it was really Lily Orchard all along, but the Quartering couldn't even admit got their ass beat by Lily Pete?
A Lily Orchard gossip blog, believed to be run by Lily's ex-friend Cypher, refuting that this event happened. Then on stream while playing Quiplash, Stockholm was posed as one of the answers to a prompt.
Reading Stockholm. How do you read a city? Oh, I would love to get a hold of the city plans for that city. They'd probably be terrible.
Tara Callie was also brought up, though Lily was more direct with that one.
Yeah, that idea was positioned by a friend that I don't talk to anymore because she had to go to federal prison.
Still doing the streaming thing and still selling this lie, huh? And 160 viewers too, nice.
I have way too many hard drives. Okay, she went to federal prison because she was Toon Critic before Toon Critic happened. That's why. And you want to know? And you want to know the one silver lining there? I'm the one who got her sent to prison.
Her past was again coming back with a furious force. From Stockholm to Tara Callie, even now Britt was once more pushing these screenshots. Lily was also banned on Twitter for allegedly telling someone to choke. The banning is something Lizzie celebrated. Lily, rather than just continue to label these people as just her opposition, started to refer to them as stalkers.
People like that suck. Oh, there.
Get got, stalker child!
There is one former friend, Brittany Johnson, who has been stalking me for 8 years, and just cannot fucking move on with her goddamn life. Hate stalking is a form of parasocial relationship. It's a form of obsession.
The same stream.
You literally Josh Scorcher. You were obsessed with, and all he did was review pony stuff and go to BronyCons and shit. That's fucking worse than parasocialness.
Lily wasn't just tired of her opposition, she was also tired of her audience.
Okay, there's an awful lot more brainless spam in the chat than usual.
Alright, so here's how we're gonna do this. Y'all are gonna learn to cool down, chill out, and basically, every time you act like a hyperactive child, I'm gonna give a little spritz of air into the mic like this. Okay? We good?
Lily would go on to spray what was presumably aerosol on the microphone at random, but this didn't have its intended effect.
Setting the chat.
Mildly inconvenienced. They might all just leave because your sound is bad. What are you trying to do?
To subscribers only. And we're gonna set it to slow mode. Basically, guys, don't spam. If you don't have anything to say, don't say anything. But when you spam the chat with every single stupid question on your mind that you could easily find out just by looking around, you make it so that I have to take time away from working on the video to bang your spammy ass. This is why I stopped streaming for a while, because y'all just can't fucking handle yourselves. You're fucking grown-ass men and women, and you still need someone to hold your hand when you cross the street.
Yeah, this is definitely... I love it when people are just entitled to being content creators, you know? It's really the chat that's the problem, not all the disgusting degeneracy that's been done for years.
Pack of idiots, a fucking swear. I think the whole point of it is that it was basically a bunch of stalkers and a chat raid designed to rile me up and piss me off.
Now even her viewers were her stalkers. What pushed Lily was...
Well, once again, as someone who's been in the circles of Lily, it is probably the parents. Parents didn't care, so they are on the internet. Like I said, like, I was smart enough to work past it, but there would be people who, like I said, I also knew what predators to fucking avoid. There were just people on the internet doing bad things. I saw, and I do believe there are people that kind of get... Some of the people that are predators to children online, they were predatored theirself because it got normalized in their head. So I'm thinking, like, no internet would have fixed this person. Not spanking, just... Now, Birdie, that's a different story. The way she talks to her parents is fucking terrible. She needs it for the disrespect. But, nah, this is what it worries me about so many people being accessible to porn at such a young age. I'm not being a prude against porn, I just think there's something about it with this stuff that kind of dehumanizes you.
Not any of this. It was a discovery.
I ended up coming across that account. Was one day I decided to just Google the Alcorative username just to see what would come up. And I came across a link to a comment that she had left on an image. And I went to it and I couldn't see the image because it was blacklisted. I didn't even know that website had blacklisted content, so I went to see what would cause an image to be blacklisted. And it's the kind of stuff that you would expect. Anything with children, animals, that kind of thing. And the comment she had left was on an image of the character Kid Icarus in a very compromising situation with an adult woman. And she was responding to someone else.
I mean, if I wanted to grift, I could write a book about it. Like I said, I kind of am trying to figure out the internet sociology. It's just, man, like I said, I've seen people. I've been a victim of people like pushing lolicon, being like, no, see, someone drew this stuff. So because they drew it, it's perfectly okay. Oh, you should roleplay as this character. You see, it's okay because someone drew it. And my dumbass fell for that argument. And then there's the whole, oh, well, it's a victimless crime. But I'm actually going to go with Josh Moon from Kiwi Farbs. on this one where he said he used to think it was a victimless crime. Then he runs 8chan where everyone's posting everything. And he says all the people that are all into the lolicon, it's a slippery slope. They get right into that CP stuff. And it's just, yeah. There's just some bad people on there. I think people who have kids that are doing social media, the parents need to see the social media. When they're 18, what can you do?
And she was like, well, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't he 30-something in the game? So basically pulling the, well, 1,000-year-old lolly argument.
Yeah, there's always that argument, too.
Basically.
This was the Alcordiv E621 account, discovered by Brit. It can now be found archived on Archive Today. Alcordiv, as a reminder, is Tara Callie's username, one that she used to write a story between a mature pony and her child. But according to Lily, Tara Callie is in prison, but perhaps someone usurped that username. It's only more suspicious because this Alcordiv E621 account has an image of Gardevoir pleasuring a trainer as her profile picture, and as per her likes, and this very expansive website are very attuned to what Lily is known to like. Additionally, this account has a total of 4,339 favorited images. Being that this account was created on March 22, 2017, that means that up until it was archived on April 26, 2022...
Honestly, sometimes when I get the urge to roleplay, I do not mind ChatGPT because it is kind of refreshing to know that I won't be forced to partake in any kink out of guilt because I made some man write fucking paragraphs today. God forbid. So much better.
On average, this account favorited a little over 2 images daily on a website that is virtually only used to peruse sexual material. It was likely this that broke the camel's back, and why Lily uploaded her video discussing her opposition by labeling them as stalkers.
I'm going to be talking about a few of my stalkers, and when I say that, I need to establish a firm disconnect between stalker and everyone else who has ever had a bad take about me. Between Twitter and Tumblr, there's the occasional weirdo who will have a dumb opinion about me or my work, or a YouTuber who makes one video about me and then fucks off forever, and I'm not going to be discussing.
Are your feelings hurt that they don't A-log you? Like, they don't do the Hassan Piker's 1,000% cooked Lily Orchard is fucking weird today? Like, are you mad that they just posted once? All anyone has to see is a little bit of this and be like, this person's gross.
In this video. Nor am I going to be discussing people who have had legitimate reasons to be and remain angry with me in the past. We're talking about the recent group of them today, who, for the sake of not drawing attention to them, we will call Karen, Carol, Katie, Ellie, Skylar, and Val.
While Lily keeps them anonymous, to an extent, by how she describes them, one can perceive who most of these figures represent. From left to right, starting at the top row, these are Brit, Poppy, Blake's girlfriend, Lizzie, Patchwork, and Cypher.
Karen, it was the fact that I ended a friendship with her because of her being an aggressive fair-weather friend, and in retaliation, she has spent 8 years accusing me of everything from secretly being another person entirely, faking being trans to get in her pants, despite the fact that our friendship ended shortly after I came out to her, and I had already been in her pants years prior, and inventing quote-unquote embarrassing stories to share with the older stalkers like FNGR and Vita.
Lily claims Brit accused Lily of being Tara Callie, ignoring all of Tara Callie's highly unconvincing story or even attributes like being a 6'3" woman that has the exact same fetishes and writing style that Lily has, and that largely used her presence to—
What are you, fanfiction writer, what the fuck are you doing? Creating alts. Your writing style, when you're fucking shipping characters and writing your incest shit, I am very sure that your writing nuances, the little things you do, the way you phrase things, any misspellings you commonly make, people know them. What are you doing, you fool?
Convince her victims to flirt with Lily. Lily also, as the text stated, believes that Brit is possibly a TERF, but presents this without any evidence. Lily then closes Brit's section, stating that she got in her pants anyway. She then calls Poppy a right-wing grifter for—
So because this person's trans, it's perfectly okay for them to talk about someone's history and, like, revenge. Like, isn't that the same as revenge porn almost? Seeing, like, I fucked this person. They had this intimate thing with me. Haha, isn't that great? Also, why the fuck is Vosh involved in this?
defending a different creator and criticizes her of psychoanalyzing her. She claims Blake's girlfriend continued to dead-name her and passed around stories of Lily being a predator.
Oh fuck, I just realized there's no keeping this one's identity secret. Anyway, Ellie is my abusive ex, who has jumped at the chance for attention and clout to claim I was the abuser in our relationship as retaliation for talking about the way she abused me, taking instances where I expressed frustration or annoyance with her flakiness to claim that I was the real abuser. The technical term for this is reactive abuse, where your abuser provokes a reaction from you to then claim you are the real abuser, kind of like what Amber Heard did to Johnny Depp.
That was Lizzie. What Lily failed to bring up was how she would cheat on Lizzie by flirting with Tumblr users, or how she disregarded her breaking down on
You know, I'm not good at pronouncing those Middle Eastern names, but I was quite affected in high school when that girl, Muslim girl, got shot for going to school. And her face was painted on murals and everything, and now I don't remember her name. That's sad, because I was like, oh my god, it is great that we all have education, that I get this free from the state. It is cool. Like I said, dare I say, I appreciate things in this country some fucking times. And like, I thought we were all going to the same public school, so I just continue to be shocked by how many dumb people there are in the world. Does Lily have fans? Or Lily has enough fans to harass people. There are people who fall for this, that this person's trans, they have abusers, they just reading the buzzwords. And they're fucking manipulated by this.
Camera when drawing the nudes that Lily requested, or how Lily continued to show her lewd art on stream to get back at Lizzie. Next, Lily covers Patchwork, making claims that are difficult to verify as Patchwork hasn't left much of a footprint. Though Lily does fail to bring up how she coerced Patchwork into drawing several images of a dog performing a certain action with her character, even though it was clearly against Patchwork's rules. This also plays into Lily being Tara Callie, and sharing the exact same fetish done in the exact same way. The last person Lily covers is Cypher, who runs the gossip blog on Tumblr. And this is not yet 1/3 of the way into the video, as Lily attempts to lessen the reasons why people hate her.
The inciting incident is usually the Steven Universe video, the videos talking shit about Cachador and Raylo, the videos talking positively about Family Guy and The Big Bang Theory, or an old shitpost.
Yeah, that'll fucking get you on Tumblr. That's why I'm like, what the fuck are these takes iDubbbz has? These are not acceptable.
Where I gave comically bad writing advice like, all sex scenes need a harmonica solo, and
oh, now it's bad. Now it's bad that you've been called out.
If at first you don't succeed, give up and do something else.
Lily is now stating that her 100 writing tips thread is a quote-unquote shitpost thread, meaning she finds this advice to be absurd. This means that her point 11, don't pair adults with minors, that's pedophilia, is absurd, and that point 12, don't sexualize teenage characters, is also absurd. As for Stockholm and the more serious claims, Lily skirts these.
Now, here's the thing. I'm not here to address every single claim they have ever made. There are too many, and they often contradict each other. Like, I'm simultaneously an anti-sex Puritan, but also an aggressive pervert who definitely has secret accounts on porn sites that they can't actually link to me.
Side note. Throughout the entirety of research for this video, never has a claim been found that Lily is an anti-sex Puritan.
They've been doing this shit for 12 years. It has never made an actual negative impact on.
Thank you, June the King, for that. Yeah. What? That must be their hardcore fans. It's like, you don't make enough hentai.
My career. Even Josh trying to slander me with a larger platform than me resulted in a 2,000 subscriber loss, which at the time equated to 5% of my total audience. And there has never been a dent like that made since. So it's clear why they want me so badly to take it seriously, because taking their outlandish accusations and addressing them seriously gives them validation they don't otherwise have.
This video is very wrong. Lily states that these people, like Lizzie or Britt, are stalkers, when Lizzie has made it clear that she is so exhausted with Lily that she began blocking people updating her about Lily. Britt even tried to extend an olive branch and leave all this behind, but it was Lily that said she was not done and did not want to mend things. And then Lily brings up Josh Scorcher again, who was so uncomfortable with Lily that he sent her a cease and desist, which she disregarded and continues to bring him up 6 years after their fallout. The last section of the video is her tying herself to lolcows.
You heard of Christine Chandler, also known as Chris Chan by the internet. She's considered to be the single cringiest person on the planet by people who don't know how cringeworthy billionaires can be. Chandler is what the internet calls a lolcow, someone who can be
You guys, well, we're gonna have Tonto debate that one. Who's worse, Chris Chan for, you know, raping his mother, or Elon Musk for being rich?
milked for laughs and content farmed forever. These people are usually neurodivergent in some way, and in recent years, trans people
You are!
have been the target of stalking, and even people who are neither just for shits and giggles.
Lily's video has no backbone. It has no evidence, only ranting which can be effective to those unaware of her expansive controversies. A comment left under Lily's video emphasizes what is wrong with it. Quote, why not show clips or text of said abuse? You can black out names and whatnot. Unquote. Lily responds by stating, quote, it's not the point of the video. Unquote. With Lily's video misrepresenting the people she wronged, there were some responses from those involved, like Patchwork.
A lot of it was her openly complaining about being dissatisfied sexually with Lizzie. I had no idea why she was telling me this, of all people. And anytime I brought up, well, maybe negotiate and establish safe words like Lizzie wants, or even just suggesting Lily talk to her, she would say that Lizzie would have a breakdown anytime Lily tried to criticize her. She would also remark that the not safe for work fan art she got was never extreme enough, or that all that was capable of making her feel better when she was dysphoric was smut.
Patchwork in this now deleted video shows the censored versions of the dog with Lily's character alongside other gruesome artwork Lily commissioned. These pieces are so vile that even in their censored versions, they cannot be shown. These still pale in comparison.
The fact that June the King cannot even censor anything, do blurs out, shows there's some fucked up shit.
To the graphic descriptions that can be found in Stockholm. A work that was more well known in the year 2023 than it possibly ever was. This is because of a re-upload of a video attributed to C. Princess Opal, who claims to have read the entirety of the work. The first 25 minutes or so of this hour and 9-minute long video are dedicated to proving that Lily did write Stockholm. The rest goes into a summary of the series, which in turn is a summary of her own summary that can be found on the Wayback Machine. This summary is 101 pages long, and though sizable, it does well in cutting down what Stockholm was by summarizing the copious, descriptive sex scenes with lines such as, quote, and then they had sex, unquote. This also goes to show just how inflated Stockholm is with these sex scenes. This summary, and Stockholm in general, was making a comeback, because all of Lily's controversial past was still making its comeback. Especially the ties between Stockholm and Lily's younger sister by a year, Courtney Pete.
About what she tried to do to me as a kid. This is the reference to Stockholm. Just don't read her blog. She's hurt enough people.
This was Courtney Pete in July of 2023 reaching out to creators Poppy and Xena. Though this isn't just them interviewing Courtney through text.
Okay, we're just giving an alleged assault victim.
Oh, and these two have a child that they abuse and, like, dehumanize and treat like an animal. These are two bad people.
A platform to talk about what happened to them. You should be fully for this, Lily.
It's true. I witnessed the abuse she went through as well. But you had asked me. You had asked me.
Yeah.
Courtney opens by talking about how Lily embraces a Native American culture that is not of their family. Then goes on to discuss her allegations against her brother Cameron, who suspects also abused Lily in the same way, and then goes into what she believes Lily went through.
She would take off from school property, lose her mind when people brought her back, and that's when her parents started bringing her to the doctors. And honestly, doing a lot of thinking on it, I think she really was being touched by a teacher and just did not have the words to say. Like, I used to tell my mother I didn't like playing house with Cameron, and because what she didn't know is what I was trying to convey, I don't like having sex with Cameron.
Excerpts from the Dash family of Stockholm. Quote, "Who was your first girlfriend anyway?" Twilight asked. Huh? Oh, one of these substitutes at my old school. Essentia shrugged. I don't really remember her name. Started with a ch, that's all I remember. Wait, what? Twilight blinked with surprise. A substitute teacher? Essentia nodded. I was 14, she was filling in for the senior calculus teacher. You dated a grown woman at 14? Unquote. A fair portion of this interview is about how terribly Lily was treated as a child, like how her parents introduced a platform of no self-worth.
He would say, "Oh, because we actually care about you, Courtney." And he would say this in front of Lily and not
Jesus
in front of Lily.
Christ.
Yeah. And he would say this in front of her too. Like, she would be around, she wouldn't be around, she'd be listening, she wouldn't be listening. And it's just like, oh, that's because we actually care about you, Courtney. Flips the cup up and dumps it all over her.
Holy shit.
Just out of nowhere. And like, my father comes in as the aftermath of this.
Okay, I was saying internet. Sounds like we got abusive parents, much like these fucking two are to their kid, by the way. Don't know why they're all like,
It's happening, and Lily's screaming in pain because she's got boiling water all over her, and I'm trying to punch Cameron because like I watched him do this, and my father's response is just, everybody shut up and leave each other alone. Literally didn't matter that his child was burnt and the other one did it.
Oh my fucking god.
A shared point between Lily and Courtney's stories are how terrible their parents are. They are described as negligent, demeaning, ineffective at all they do. The point that things split are with the allegations against Cameron and with each other.
In a trailer home. Like, slept right through it, whole fucking night. I would sleep through a fire alarm going on outside my open bedroom door. Like, I slept through everything. So if she was molesting me in my sleep, I was 100% sleeping through it because I slept like a dead child.
Jesus Christ.
So I never actually caught her in the act at that point. And look up to see Lily's face sticking through my slowly opening door. She would make eye contact with me. I wouldn't even say anything. She would just go, "Oh, you're awake," and then leave. Like, excuse me? You were expecting me to be asleep? What the actual fuck were you going to do? And I had surprised her.
Courtney also goes into the various psychiatrist visits Lily had, and that their parents were instructed to not leave Lily with Courtney. But this went ignored.
This child removed, or me removed. Like, just, she's not safe with this child. Okay. Peace, have a good one. Hope it works out. Like, what?
No, it's true. It's fucked. I don't know either.
Excerpts from the Dash family of Stockholm. Quote, "A creeper? What do you mean? You spy on her?" Rainbow asked. Sweetie Belle nodded. When she's changing or taking a shower or trying to be alone, even when I started crushing on you, I was spying on my sister. And sometimes I'd steal her underwear. Unquote. Excerpt from Stockholm Actual. Quote, "Fluttershy giggled, I see what you mean. I'm an only child, but it certainly is something interesting to think about. Oh, but if we were sisters, I think we might have done this a long time ago." Rainbow blushed. "Oh really? How do you figure? If we were close since we were kids as friends, I can only imagine we'd be closer if we lived under the same roof together." Fluttershy nuzzled her neck, playing.
Thank you, but I definitely wasn't putting my own life experiences in my Inuyasha fanfiction, that's for sure.
Doctor, taking baths together, growing up together, learning about our bodies. Unquote. Different excerpt from Stockholm Actual. Quote, Rainbow sighed, alright, she said nervously, getting up and moving to her dresser. Opening the drawer, she found Sweetie Belle's underwear, where she left them, folded underneath her socks. Taking them in hand, she felt the soft material between her fingers, shuddering as she imagined where they'd been before coming into her possession. She stepped back and fell onto her bed. Unquote. There is the possibility that Courtney expressing that Lily has an obsession with her underwear could have read these pertinent sections of Stockholm to craft these allegations. But it is also important to note that this was in Stockholm, and that Lily wrote it and several other similar scenes to be sexually gratifying. Still typically around the age of 14 and involving a sister.
And then Courtney, when she started talking about it, I believe Courtney was around 14 when she put the lock on her door. So there's like a really dark, weird potential connection there. Oh, Lily.
Courtney goes on to how Lily was as a child.
Well, she ended up assaulting school staff. The cops were called. They basically took her into custody, and she threatened to slit, in regards to me, my mother, and my father, she threatened to slit all of our throats in her sleep in police custody.
Sure, you sure she doesn't have BPD, but not treated? Fuck.
So they go and search the house, and they search Lily's room, and what did you know? They find 2 big meat cleavers and a large carving knife in the holes in her wall that my parents didn't even know were missing. Right after she threatened to slit our throats. Now, my room shared a wall with Lily's.
This was hardly the last time the police were involved.
She carved a knife in shop class out of wood and then threatened a pregnant teacher with it. And then when that didn't get her what she wanted, she tried to push this pregnant teacher down a flight of stairs.
Oh my god, you know, like The Good Son starring Macaulay Culkin, and we see it on Ewu, the psycho child that's just a born narcissist, sociopath. They're just fucking, they'll kill you if they don't get their way. This is the victims of the modern age fucking version. Fucking live this sadistic life and then go roleplay it out some more and create ults and then also review ponies. It's fucked up.
Then the cops were obviously called, and they took her into custody, and they came and they questioned me because she was saying some worrying shit. And they basically asked me if she had been showing any worrying behaviors. So I directed them into her room, into the same holes in her wall where she had the knives, where she had her manifesto that she had shown me when she told me about her plan to shoot up Lockview High School. That's why she got expelled from Lockview High School and had to start going to Sackville High School.
Jesus Christ.
Lily has admitted to being, quote, suspended 63 times in 3 years, unquote. Though this number is likely an exaggeration, her being suspended at all is a possibility. All of this, from the violence to the voyeurism, is exactly what Tara was talking to Britt about in 2013. Here, Tara tells Britt that Lily sleeps shirtless with her hair down, and that Britt, quote, would cream yourself if you got a good look at her, unquote. And that, quote, she won't let me do anything with her anymore, so I spy on her when she sleeps, unquote. And then here, Tara states that Lily told her if she were to end herself, that she jokingly said she would take down as many people with her as she could. As for Courtney, she continued to talk about Lily on her Tumblr that went as, please tie my shoe. Lily, becoming aware of this, stated that she is giving everything to her lawyer just in case. Courtney, undeterred, continued to post about Lily, sharing an image of RVI where Lily states that, quote, having a hot sister is like having $19 in your bank account, unquote. Or the time Lily destroyed her room by punching holes in the wall or burning the carpet and the ceiling. The repairers took $10,000. But that was only done when Lily was sent to the hospital and was gone for a year and a half, meaning that Lily had to have been living in her increasingly destroyed room. And then Courtney made the announcement that she also plans on taking legal action against Lily, Cameron, and their parents. In several posts, Courtney goes into graphic detail of her accusations against Lily, and how Lily convinced her to do things. These go into Lily stealing Courtney's underwear, Lily observing Courtney, Courtney having sleepovers in Lily's room and playing quote-unquote games. Courtney then, in September 2023, made a second appearance on Zena and Poppy's channel before having a falling out with them. What happened was bizarre. It begins with Poppy and Courtney flirting off-stream. Poppy sends Courtney furry porn as it seems to be a mutual kink, but what was sent was incest furry porn that initially perturbed Courtney, but she continued to flirt with Poppy, eventually sending her a nude photo of herself. Poppy writing out a timeline of events, and the timeline mentions that she was sent a nude by Courtney. Courtney becomes furious at the fact that the information of her sending a nude was shared. Quote, in the interim, the two of them have been making wild claims about me threatening to dox them or dead naming Poppy. What I did was threaten to come beat her ass if she didn't stop telling people she had nudes of me. Something she refused to stop doing, and in fact defending her quote-unquote right to tell over 100 people that I sent her a nude once, unquote. This is what Courtney told Poppy. Quote, you better fucking delete every single thing I ever sent you or I will fucking come after you, I swear to God. Tread fucking carefully, I have your docs info, unquote. Poppy then clarifies that the nude itself was not shared, and perceives this as Courtney threatening to dox her. But Courtney states that this was a threat to confine them and beat them up, rather than as a threat to release their personal information, though she does contend that stating it that way was intended more so as the latter threat of doxing. But in this community, especially within Lily's opposition, this is not an isolated incident. Stepping into 2024, not only did relationships sour with Courtney and Poppy, but also a fair amount.
As stated, these two are not good people. Yeah, they got a kid, they're fucking dating, and then they're sending each other fucking furry porn when they're not all fucking streaming. They're all full fucking 9,000 subscribers.
Lily's opposition was turning against each other. On February 15th, 2024, creator Evangelina Skov released a 37-minute video on Lily, going over things like her Steven Universe video or Lily's obsession with Josh Scorcher. Evangelina Skov is a channel that rapidly releases content. While her video is accurate, it has been proven that Skov was reliant on screenshots for her claims rather than unmodifiable archive sources. For example, a proper archive source would be through a service that works in archiving web pages and saving URLs. And so one can verify through this unbiased medium that the information is accurate to the time the web page was saved. So with Skov reliant on screenshots shared through things like Reddit or other forums, runs a risk of basing her research off a screenshot that is entirely fabricated or just modified in a small but deceitful way. But the possibility of running across such fakeries that are convincing is small, and depending on the video and who provides the screenshot, this doesn't run a large risk and can make research easier. But in Skov's case, though the screenshots are accurate, they, through the unique color coding and zoom, can be sourced to Essence of Thoughts video, an infamous creator that goes by Ethel. This creator has several videos on Lily Orchard. These videos, as often recounted by other creators that dislike Ethel, are very slow, not entertaining, assume the intent of the subject to a dangerous degree, and have a large ego attached to them. With Skov's video performing somewhat well and outperforming some of Ethel's own videos, Ethel, seeing that some of the screenshots she dug up were in Skov's video, emailed Skov stating that the screenshots Skov's used were identical to her unique color coding of them, and then goes on to accuse Skov of plagiarism. Ethel continues by stating that
plagiarizing fake messages?
That there wouldn't have been a problem if she just cited her in some way. But because Skov did not do so, Ethel is demanding 30% of what the video earned, which includes AdSense, the Patreon earnings of the month it was released, and even earnings from the sponsor in the video. Additionally, Ethel is demanding a correction/apology on social media as well as an explanation of the issue in her description. Skov, not wanting to pay Ethel in what can be perceived as extortion, did update her description to expand on the sources she used, citing Lily's gossip blog as a source for the screenshots. Meaning the likely happening was that a person screenshotted Ethel's original videos. Someone shared it to the gossip blog or they found it themselves, and Skov used those screenshots from the gossip blog. Through this, Skov would have no interaction with Ethel's video, but to appease her, she later added Ethel as a source. With the initial update of her description not including Ethel noticing emailed Skov stating that she can prove plagiarism with a clever application of quote-unquote data triangulation, and that Ethel is giving her one last chance before going public with everything.
Data triangulation, my dumbass would fall for it.
And on March 2nd, 2024, she did go public and released her video that breaks down how these screenshots were sourced from her, alongside encouraging Skov's audience to unsubscribe from Skov's Patreon.
So, if you're a fan of hers, especially if you're someone who donates to her Patreon, are you going to prove her right? Or are you going to have some damn self-respect?
Ethel at the end of the video also ties what she believes to be plagiarism as affecting her foot, teeth, and more.
But the fact remains, at the time Evangelina Skov plagiarized me, I was getting ready to have surgery, meaning she added to said stress. It's safe to look back now. All of this
is this Crimes New Roman?
This has been a problem for my work since all of my various appointments, first for my teeth, then for my foot, have been in the middle of the day. I'm here and I'm ready to be heard. Drawing inspiration from Tay Pratchett's Going Postal for a second, Scow, if you're watching this, I'd like you to hear what I have to say to you personally. You may not have thought to, but in 100 small ways, you have snatched the bread from my starving mouth.
Ethel's video was not received well. However, Skov's response was.
But after they had sent the first email to me saying, pay me 30% of your income, they tweeted and sent an email to the sponsor of that video to try and, what it looks like, to harm my income. So my fears were confirmed, at least in my opinion, that this was somebody who was...
This is all over this Lily Orchard. This person really is just a perverse... Not this person that I'm circling. Lily Orchard is just a perverse creature, really, that's distorting lives.
Maliciously trying to attack me. I wouldn't have used Essence of Thought as research for my video, because I don't trust them as a source of information, given what I know about them and how I've seen how she goes after people and how she twists things and how she lies about things, from my understanding.
A big talking point of this was the perceived extortion, but Ethel, in a follow-up video to Scott's response, states,
Except, as anyone who watched our video or actually read the emails for themselves would know, Sko's plagiarism was always coming to light, regardless of whether they paid the compensation we felt we were owed.
This is Ethel essentially stating that her statements were not threats, they were a promise. Whatever the case, Ethel's hyper-academia-based approach to all this was both a misunderstanding of the YouTube environment she stands in, and another example of how combative those attempting to bring Lily to light could be. Even Courtney made a video on Ethel, which Ethel reciprocated with a video on Courtney. And on May 16th, 2024, creator I Love Compossible a Lot made her own video.
We might watch this later. Because, like she said, KP is... I hate to say it, y'all. She's retarded.
Against Lily.
Yes, is it Tonto? It keeps going! This person's gross and they haven't thrown him off a bridge yet.
This was of particular note because she, up until recently, was a friend of Lily's. Besides interviewing Courtney and Britt and introducing another accusation against Lily, she also has audio from a call of her confronting Lily. In this call, Stockholm is brought up, where Lily claims his story was about her killing pedophiles.
Right. Well, from my understanding, the context, or Scootaloo and some of the other CMC have like relations with the with Rainbow Dash and stuff.
Nope. I generally just don't talk. I just generally don't talk about it because, you know, it's one of the most. It's one of the more persistent pieces of fiction that pass around about me, because nothing passes the rounds better than passes the rounds more than Trans Girl Predator.
Right.
And just
okay.
I just don't talk about it. I don't.
The cope.
Acknowledge it. I don't give it attention. That's pretty much all it's been.
So, as a favor to you, if I reached out to Courtney and got her to apologize for the trans
No. I do not want you to reach out to Courtney at all.
Okay. Well, let me put it this way. I don't feel comfortable with any of this, Lily. I don't feel comfortable with these allegations against you. I just don't. So.
All right. Goodbye.
Okay. Bye.
Lily, as a direct response to Ethel's many videos on her and I Love Compossible a Lot's recent video, she released her own video titled, I've Been Harassed and Lied About for 12 Years.
Now, KP's like Lily Orchard's last friend there, and that's because KP, dare I say, is mentally retarded and doesn't know any better.
This video isn't going to cover everything. It mostly covers the accusations of me being a groomer, the accusations my sister has made, and someone's weird tangent about my heritage. If you're here asking about Madhouse or Iris and Kira or Scars or whatever other project you found in my back dumpster, you're gonna have to wait until another time. This is the important shit.
This means Lily would not be covering Stockholm. The first 10 minutes or so in this hour-long video goes over her heritage, to then wanting to step away from her drama.
People have been tricked into being a part of this harassment mob. Outside of Brittany, Patch, Courtney, KP, and Ethel, if most of these people backed away and stopped talking about me, everything would be forgiven. I don't want an apology or a public retraction. I just want to be left alone.
Lily then addresses I Love Compossible a Lot and the additional accusation found in her video, then moves on to Britt and immediately opens her section with lies.
When Brittany makes all these claims, she proceeds to say that the chats are lost. How convenient. You're gonna see a lot of that, by the way, except not really, because she actually does show chat logs, allegedly of me and her, with the ends of our surnames to identify us, using it as proof of me prompting unwanted physical roleplay.
The reason these screenshots are cut off is due to how I Love Compossible Lot's video was edited in that she zoomed in. The originals have Lily and Britt's full name.
But what's even better here, is that her screenshot, it shows her initiating it. She accuses me of prompting an unwanted snuggle, and then the screenshot is of her prompting the snuggle. I have to laugh, because if I don't laugh, I'll cry. Especially with this next one, because it actually visibly made me angry. Brittany brings up a claim about a sock puppet account and accuses me of using it for coercion. The chat logs of this account are shown multiple times, but they have no name, no profile picture, and no timestamp. This is my first time seeing her proof, and it's fucking nothing. I don't even know what program this uses. It's literally nothing. And this is what's being used as proof that I'm some super predator? Are you fucking kidding me? This is the most amateur hour shit.
I'm sorry, it's the fact that your blood relative came on call and said all those things, and those aren't great things about herself to say, and talking about how gross the family is and how Jackie it is, and there are a lot of things that line up with your stories. There would be no benefit from that, because you people actually aren't anybody, so what the fuck?
Shit show of a fucking interview I've ever seen.
Lily's position here is that Britt lied about everything, especially Tara Callie, and claims the chat logs are fakeries. The proper way to disprove this would be to prove that Tara Callie exists. After all, she was a former director of Lily's work. Lily was the only person that has ever seen her, because even if these chat logs are falsified, Lily is supposed to not know how Tara didn't just convince Britt to flirt with Lily, but also Blake and allegedly Nintendo Gal 55. What's more, Lily closes the section by stating that she won't be talking about Patchwork and shows the least lewd art she commissioned. There are a significant amount of holes in this video already. The next 17 minutes are dedicated to Ethel and a minor that allegedly watched one of Lily's streams where she flashed her breasts.
So Glade, if you're watching this, I have no idea why you would be. I should have just straight up told you why it was 18 plus and saved us all the trouble, and I'm sorry. So while this incident is a pretty cut and dry instance of me dropping the ball as a server admin, Ethel decided to run with it.
After a lengthy section discussing Ethel, her methods, and playing with the possibility of suing her, Lily then moves on to Courtney.
He said, she said that we're going to get. Neither of us have evidence for our claims, and the most I have is Courtney contradicting herself. So moving on to the big one, Courtney Pete.
Lily, besides denying Courtney's claims entirely, states that it was Courtney that was a predator and blackmailed Lily because Courtney was perceived as the favorite. As for the contradictions in Courtney's story, there are none that Lily presented. Lily makes it a point to state that the ages in Courtney's claims don't make sense for what she is being accused of, and that their parents, if Courtney was truly the favorite, would have believed Courtney right away. This is not a contradiction, it is just a complexity of who they are. Yet, because of the nature of these claims from both sides, and that they would have taken place around 20 years ago, there is no definitive evidence besides accusations. What there is the rest of Lily's extensive history that is progressively getting more and more interest, not for her accolades or through her own entertainment, but to know what Lily Orchard has done. Better understood are things like Lily writing Stockholm and Doomsday Ascending, to her obsession with Gardevoir and Josh Scorcher, or her attacks on Lizzie. Lesser known are things like the artwork she commissioned for Patchwork, which ties things back to Lily creating Tara Callie and using Tara Callie to manipulate others, which then extends to Alcordiv, who wrote A Mother's Love, A Daughter's Passion. And Alcordiv is also the name of that E621 account that has the exact same interest Lily would have. And then it goes into the least known.
She is fully...
Alright, Mike, here you go. Shouldn't have let that Romanian on the server, indeed.
Now that's a funny name.
Irredeemable at this point in my eyes, and there's a very specific reason for that. It's actually the other sets of pornographic accounts I was telling you about the other day. No, these aren't the dark web ones, but they might as well be. So, after the E621 account was found, the one under the Alcordiv name with all the depictions of kids doing weird shit, that account went dormant. A little while later, an anonymous person...
The fuck, June the King? It's already bad enough. Why such insidious music, and why at the end?
Reached out to me and Gallade on Tumblr, saying that they had found three or four accounts all with usernames that related back to Lily in some way, on a website called Sankaku Complex. I had never heard of that website, and apparently it is known for hosting some of the worst stuff that you can find on the surface web. And this person had gone through all these accounts, which were under the names Alcordiv, Ibaratera, which were her two sock puppet account names just smashed together. There was a username related to one of her fanfics, but they all had identical favorites, identical tags. Like, it was pretty much all the same person. There's no easy way to say this, but it's hardcore content.
These accounts, as per Brit's description, are highly interested in children, but because of the nature of them, they are impossible to verify, and are only associated to Lily.
I don't really know the lore on that Singy. No, this is worse than Mama Max, because at least Mama Max isn't into children.
Due to her usernames and the common interests. While Lily is not particularly intelligent when it comes to covering her tracks, she does delete virtually everything. This makes investigating her all the more difficult. There are a mountain of accusations levied against her. Yet in this video, only the ones with the most evidence or relevance because who is giving the testimony are displayed. The job for police to investigate Lily, especially for Stockholm, would be difficult, as they would have to understand FimFetch and its relation to FimFiction, and understand how Stockholm was retrieved in its original state and understand what My Little Pony is, and that there exist human forms of these characters, and they would have to go over the entirety of the 700,000 word long work and then also pin Lily for distributing it, which could be tied to her
I don't think anyone's actually ever been arrested for fanfiction before.
Spawn account, which gave out a Google Drive link. But also the Drive link is dead, so it is not possible to verify for certain that it was Stockholm. On top of that, Lily is a public figure. Concerned viewers of any creator calling the authorities to investigate someone does make the job of investigators more difficult, as the regular viewers reporting this would be more lax with reporting weaker evidence, and would make such an investigation more difficult to verify all these claims, which is why police will disregard it. This is all to say the current likelihood of Lily getting arrested is slim to none, but her history has been stacked against her. She has progressively gotten more and more aggressive, erratic, unpredictable. She has now begun copyright striking critical works of her, and as long as she remains online, she will continue to cause havoc. This is not the end, but rather the beginning.
June the King doesn't approve of us whore. Smut isn't illegal. No, Tonto. Canada, you can't write CP, like graphic CP type stuff between children characters. But you'd also have to give a fuck enough about a fanfic case to look it up. Say Canada is a different world than ours.